Yeah, see, Roger's already there waiting for me. Hey, Roger, dude. How you doing, man?
How are you doing?
Mr. Vedic display. What does Vedic mean?
Oh, it's the ancient Hindu cosmology, and if you see the background, that's what they
Oh,
think
yeah,
the
of course I
universe
do.
looks. Yeah, they think that that's
Ah, I
how the
see.
stars are set. Yeah,
It looks like a Mandelbrot pattern. That's what it looks
yeah.
like to me. Like the
Well, those are
Mandelbrot.
the heads of the gods that are watching us right now in the sky.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, trippy, man, trippy. Sorry, guys, it's the second day in a row that my alarm has gone off, and I woke up for it must have been going off for 45 minutes until I heard it. Because usually what happens, I don't sleep very well. Right, usually I don't sleep much through the night, but sometimes when I go through a period of 3 4 days without sleeping, 5 days without sleeping properly, then a couple of days I completely crash. And I'm usually a light sleeper. The lightest noise, the slightest thing wakes me up, but alarm did not wake me up for 45 minutes. So yeah, I just got up at for me it's 9, it's 5 past 9 now. So like yeah, when it was wow, I was like, no, not again. And I've gone to the chat and these guys were there. I was hoping nobody had said anything in the chat and I could just change it to 9 o'clock. But no, you just don't. So sorry about that, guys. If that happens again, I will turn up as soon as if I wake up. But in general, I'm a light sleeper. I don't. Yeah, I'm not usually late for stuff. Wow, crazy. But yeah, I haven't even got a clue what we're doing today. Let's have a look through my watch list. Let me
What?
share first. And we'll look through
Cool.
it. Let's share
Can you hear me good
screen.
on my end? Am I coming
Yeah, I
through?
can hear you. Yeah,
Good.
you're coming through, man. You're coming through good. Coming through well. Right, what shall we have a look at? Am I sharing? Yeah, I'll be sharing. Right, so I got rid of all my videos and everything off my computer. Anything that was quite big, I got rid of to see if it helps with how my computer's been going, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. I'll come across this one: Giants of Malta, evidence the ancient builders are hiding underground. I thought, yeah, why not have a look at that then?
Yeah,
This
we
one,
were
why not have a
talking
look at
about
this
that
one?
earlier.
We just
Talking
get put it
about
up.
John Levy.
I was okay, so I might as well put it on then.
Yeah, go for it.
Come on. Is it going to do something? Yeah, thank you. Giants of Malta. Yeah, we'll have a look at this one. Skip. Is it starting? Yeah, it's starting. Cool. Oh, it's this dude. I didn't realize who it was. Okay, cool. He's this guy here. I don't know if you've seen him before. He's got a goldfish in the background and he talks with his goldfish. Yeah, I didn't know it was him. I just seen the thing. I thought, yeah, we'll have a look at it, see what you think. He's usually on
I get it.
if it comes to stuff like that, he's usually on the side of nah, there's not really giants or flat. Earth's not flat or you know what I mean. He's usually on the opposition side. He seems all right, but yeah, I don't think he does these things specifically. He just does whatever topic. I don't know. I didn't like I said. I didn't even
Huh.
know it was him. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll have a play of this one and see what it's
He's a Pink
saying.
Floyd fan. He's like two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl.
Say again.
He's a Pink Floyd fan.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Got you. Wow, how many? Oh, he's got 3.76 million subscribers. So he's yeah.
Well, he's big.
So he needs a few subs, guys.
Yeah. He's getting
He's big.
monetized.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
big. Of course, he is. And this is 7 years old. Yeah, he's definitely monetized. That's for sure. Definitely sure, without a doubt. If you got that many followers, there's no way he's not monetized. But yeah, I suppose it's only fair. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sob because it's not a channel I watch all the time. It's only because I've watched things with giants before. I suppose it came up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put his link in if you want to go and check him out anyway. But yeah, links in chat. Paste. Here we go.
I'm subscribed to John
That's his link.
Levy now. He's from Arizona. He's smaller than this. He's more down my alley.
Oh, okay.
He's a local boy. Yeah, but he goes to
Who's
Tartaria
that?
and
Sorry.
John Levy is
Oh
his
yeah,
name.
the Dark Series.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out sometime.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's not
Tartaria
bad.
stuff about. I just like lots of evidence for lands,
Mhm.
villages, and cities, and all that underground because of mud floods. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah,
Tartaria.
yeah. He goes back. He goes back to all
Mm.
the Hags, and pulls up records of old buildings and how old they are. He finds
Um,
pictures of them like way before they were supposed to be built, like in Utah, Salt Lake City, all through Arizona. That's where he is now. Salt Lake. Yeah, he goes between
got you,
Arizona and there. Yeah.
got you. Cool.
There's pyramids in the Grand
Yeah.
Canyon, PJ.
Pyramids in the Grand
Yeah,
Canyon. Let's
yeah.
check that out. That'd be cool. Right. Let's say hello to the people in chat. We've got 6 watching this early morning. You were fairly talking while I was asleep. Well, crazy. But I think it's all the same, guys. It's just Derek Nelson was here earlier. I don't know if he's here now. Roger, hiya, obviously.
Oh,
Jehovah's daughter Barbara. Hiya, Barbara. Good to see you.
he's drinking a cup of tea right now.
Fair play to her. I'm drinking coffee. Do you know it's mad? It's my last cup of coffee. I've just run out.
No way.
It will do for this morning. Yeah, that's it. Wow, what a conversation! It was only you 3 guys.
Oh
Excellent.
yeah, we were going.
Keep getting, like trapped wind in my. It feels
We were
like it's
wait.
trapped wind in my chest. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah.
Thanks guys for coming, and thanks to my panel member Roger. Bless you guys. Right, so we'll just start this video and see what it's saying.
Cheers.
Cool. If you need me to stop, just stop. Oh yeah, let me put the quality down a bit because I know, like I say, I got rid of a lot of stuff on my computer. Whether it helps or not, I have not got a clue. And wow, look at that! I didn't know it. Look at the quality options you got there.
Oh, nice.
21 60K, 4K. I didn't realize that was an option. 4K. I
Yeah,
thought it went
4K
to
is a good
HD
one.
in this. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to say let's start
720.
with 480. See what he's saying.
All right.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Right. Let's play it. See what's happening.
This episode of the Y Files is brought to you by Factor.
Ooh.
In 19, Maltese pediatrician Anton Mifsud got a frantic call from his contractor. He was clearing a piece of land for a new medical clinic. Dr. Mifsud was hoping they didn't need more equipment. They were isolated on Gozo, one of the islands of Malta. The nearest mainland was the Italian coast, 60 miles away by boat. But Mifsud quickly realized this wasn't about equipment. The contractor sounded worried, afraid even. Mifsud wondered if someone had been hurt. He got the contractor to calm down and tell him what had happened. While digging, workers found human bones. The doctor said they should just call the police. But the contractor said there was more to it. The skeleton they found was 10 feet long.
Sorry, Roger, did you just say stop?
No, I didn't. But yeah, I
No?
believe they're 10 feet tall people. I got a cousin. He's 8'3". He's a tall dude. When I was a young man, he came to my grandma's house and he had to duck down to get inside the door.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
the tallest person I would say I've seen is probably maybe 7 foot, 7'2" at the most. But even that, when I'm like just under 6 foot, just under like say 5'11", maybe dropped quarter an inch when I had my accident and flattened my calcaneum. So and that looks really tall to me. So can you imagine someone 8 foot, even 10 foot? I believe that there's obviously. The Bible says there was giants in them days. Do you know what I mean? That type of thing. I believe there was really big giants, and then there was, I believe that Adam and Eve was probably 9 foot tall. because of the oxygen, maybe because of before the flood. I don't know if it was purer or more condensed, whatever. I don't know, but they certainly seem to be taller. And they did find bones and all that, didn't they? But
they got tons
was
of
giant.
them.
Yeah, and the
There's
Bible
a
definitely describes giants.
There's a 16-foot
Yeah,
skeleton in Peru, I think, or Chile. They got in a museum down there.
yeah.
They have the femur bone from a
Well, you know
giant
how.
adult.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ah. Well, I've heard that. I don't know how true it is. I don't know if it's mythical, but like the native Indians, you know how like I don't know which tribe, but the ones that used to go about and saying how when they held up their hands and that it was to show that they only had 5 fingers or something like that. That's why they did the how thing. Yeah, to show that they only had 5 fingers because a lot of these
had 6.
like bigger tribes or whatever had 6 fingers and all that stuff. It was kind of just to show what they had. You know what I mean?
You ever watch The Princess Bride? Remember the guy who killed that had 6 fingers? Do you have 6 fingers?
Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah, it's a joke. I have a friend that actually, when I was younger, he had 4 toes on each foot.
Oh yeah! Wow. I've seen a girl with web toes, web between each toe. But I haven't seen anybody with more than what they're meant to have. Less than, but not more.
Yeah. we called him Quaz because he had 4 toes.
Yeah. Jehovah's daughter Barbara says you can turn many mountain ranges sideways and see they were once giant giants. Book of Joshua says Christ said the earth is a corpse. It's definitely there. There's lots of them. Definitely, there's lots of them. Not even just sideways. Some of them just seem to be sunk into the ground to a certain degree or leaning a bit. But yeah, you're right, Barbara. Some of them definitely do look like giants. Then you get people like Mud Fossil University. I mean, I know he's a glober and that, but some of his mud stuff is all right. And like he thinks he's seen a big dragon. You know what I mean? Not just
I've seen it.
Not just feet, like lots of feet long, like miles long, and miles long. I think it was
Mongolia or something.
Eating a fish, sort of thing. Yeah. Crazy. Might be worth looking to afterwards. I don't know. We'll see. Right, let's carry on. Anybody else turn up? No, 4 watching. Right.
Dr. Mifsud said that was impossible. No human ever lived that was that enormous. Then he remembered the legend.
Yeah.
Ooh, a real gourmet kitchen. I've always dreamed of being a chef.
Great. Now let's start cooking. People are starting to stare at the bulge in my hat.
Oh, you should be flattered to have a bulge anywhere.
Very funny.
Is that a fishbowl in your hat, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, okay, that's enough.
Okay. That was kind of objectionable.
Objectionable.
It means unpleasant or offensive.
I know what it means. That's not the word I would have used. Now, can we please start cooking? This food critic is waiting for his food.
Fine. Settle down, you eager beaver. By the way, what are we making?
I thought you knew.
He is pretty witty with the goldfish, like, but in general, he's usually on the side of like, no, it didn't really happen. Or have you seen him before?
I haven't seen him. No,
it's good though.
He's a skeptic though. Yeah.
No. Yeah, without a doubt. Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm just looking for some. Oh, come on. I'm looking for roach material. Bed. It's got to be.
You're the chef.
I never said I was a chef. I said I dreamed of being a chef. I never cooked in my life.
This is not good. They're going to call the fire department. No. Why did we choose flambé?
Because I had all this extra booze. Besides, why would you even listen to me? I'm not Gordon.
I mean, he might be a skeptic, but that goldfish knows he's contained. You know? Isn't it?
Rambo?
Ramsey.
What'd I say? Look, human, we gotta think of something. What are we gonna feed the snobby food critic? He's gonna write about this in his blog.
Nobody reads blogs anymore.
That's not the point. We gotta do something.
Now, relax. I have a solution.
If you say fish and chips, I'm gonna do something to your hair. Something terrible.
The solution is Factor.
My goodness. Did you just saute your way into today's sponsor?
You betcha.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Factor is a subscription meal service that...
Yeah. No doubt. Sponsor. Right, when's the sponsor finish?
It's better than brilliant.org.
Let's play
it. .com to receive 50%.
Yeah.
Fill my bowl water as an aphrodisiac.
I don't know about that.
Oh, we can. It's a great business idea.
Well, maybe we should save that bit for the next sponsor ad, huh?
Yeah.
Good call, chef.
There you go.
Ding. That's funny.
Yeah.
It was a late winter night on the island of Malta many thousands of years ago. A farmer was awakened by a strange rumbling sound. It sounded like wind, but deeper. His family was still asleep, no need to wake them until he figured out what this was. The farmer stepped through the low entrance of his hut and stood at the edge of his wheat field. It was just a day or two after the new moon. It should have been pitch black, but an eerie orange light washed over the field, and it was getting brighter.
It had to be eerie orange, didn't it? It had to be eerie.
Yeah. Probably you.
But I like that. That looks nice. I like that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I do like
I've stood at the edge of a wheat field plenty of times. I never saw an orange light.
Yeah. But it is nice colouring though. It makes it look nice and warm. But I think there's a little bit of tinting going on there.
Oh yeah. We used to grow winter wheat.
Was getting louder. It wasn't wind.
Say it again.
We used to grow winter wheat on the farm. You know what winter wheat is?
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. I know what wheat is. I know what wheat
winter
is,
wheat
but I don't know what winter wheat is.
It grows off season. It'll grow into past the fall, and you can harvest in spring. It's tough. It makes really good wheat bread. It's good stuff. Yeah.
Right. Got you.
He'd seen meteors before, but they were small and came in bunches. This was a single large object blazing a path through the night sky.
Hiya, babe. Good morning. I only just started at 9ish. I didn't wake up till I set alarm for 7:30, but I didn't wake up till 8:45. So the alarm must have gone to sleep quite a few times. So I've literally just started, babe, about 15 minutes ago, something like that. Links in chat, babe. If you want to come in.
Then he became afraid.
Sorry, Roger said morning. But yeah, links there if you're there, if you want to come in. If I don't let you in straight away, it's because I'm obviously in the wrong tab.
It was getting bigger. This fiery object, whatever it was headed straight for the island. He wanted to warn his family, but there was no time. Seconds later, it roared past. It left a trail of fire in the sky above his hut, his field, and then into a valley nearby. A bright flash lit up the island and the sea beyond. Then, just as quickly, the darkness returned. The farmer's wife stepped out of the hut, afraid. He turned to comfort her. Whatever it was, it crashed. The danger was over. But she wasn't looking at him. She was staring at something behind him in the direction of the crash. The farmer turned around and saw a huge figure emerge from the woods. A dark silhouette.
Yeah, that does look a little bit ominous. Can you imagine if you looked out your back door on the old farm, the old Kent farm in Smallville, and then you saw a big old Galactus. And then you see big old Galactus like that. I know DC. I know Galactus is Marvel and Superman is DC, but you know what I mean. One of them.
They marry them all the time.
Yeah, that's it, man. But yeah, can you imagine looking at it and seeing that? You'd be like, whoa, dude. It'd be a bit freaky.
It would.
The wet that stood higher than the trees. The giant called Sansuna had arrived.
Sansuna. Okay. How do you know he was called Sansuna until he introduced himself, though? And you haven't done the introductions yet, but
no.
little small quibbles.
Yeah, this guy is not a good storyteller so far.
Just
it's got to be full of ads, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
Skippable.
When Sansuna emerged from the woods on Gozo, the locals were terrified. But despite her overwhelming size and strength, she eventually earned their trust. She claimed to be from a race of beings called the Nephilim, and she promised to protect them. The farmers in the islands were in constant danger from raiders and pirates, but now with the arrival of this giantess, the Maltese had a powerful guardian. The islands were abundant with huge limestones, some weighing 20 tons and stood 20 feet high. To the Maltese people, the stones were too large to be useful. This was thousands of years ago. They had no metal tools. They hadn't yet discovered the wheel. But Sansuna was able to pick up.
Thousands of years ago, they didn't
How do
have
they
any
know that?
tools, metal tools.
Yeah.
Exactly. How do they know that? To me, I think I see evidence of tools from thousands of years ago, especially with the buildings they had. I mean, pyramids for a start. You'd not tell me they chopped them that because I mean the brick themselves, the actual stone themselves, fit so perfectly together you can't put a slip of paper through it or whatever.
People back then knew what they were doing, dude.
Of course they did. They might have had different technology from us. But inferior, I don't think so. Just for the time that they were in and what they needed it for, different technology, but not inferior. We're in a different time. We're using different types of technology, different types of tools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were probably advanced for the time. You know, it's always portrayed. It's always portrayed that they were less intelligent. That were, do you know what I mean? That they had.
They're stupid.
Yeah, and they were less high tech.
The guy looked like a caveman. And anyways, the farmers, when they came out there, they had him look like Sean Hawkins. It's horrible. Yeah.
Carbon dating is pseudoscience. Exactly, but it certainly is. Carbon dating is rubbish. And apparently it only works to 10,000 years, doesn't it? So anything beyond 10,000 years, how can you tell if the carbon dating doesn't work? But yet they do use carbon dating for it. It's stupid.
Even the largest stones and carefully placed them one by one. Soon, enormous temples were assembled. Some had walls 3 stories high. She built 30 different megalithic.
It actually looks not too jacky. I've got it on 480. It looks not too bad at the minute. Let me try and put it up one and see what it does. If it goes worse, I'll put it back down. But I'm just trying to test it. Let's try 720. I bet it'll go a little bit jacky in 720. Let's check.
The temple doesn't look like it was built by a caveman, dude. The temple doesn't look like it was built by a caveman, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know? Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's got pillars and everything. Perfectly shaped. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you this pillar is at the same angle as this pillar, just the opposite way around. You know what I mean?
They know what they were doing. They built it proper. Yeah.
Across the island.
Yeah. Exactly. Of course they knew. That's why they're still standing, most of the stuff.
Quality
the most
work.
impressive temple is on the island of Gozo. The farmers named it Gigantia, the Maltese word for giant. Gigantia is made of 2 separate buildings built using enormous limestone blocks, and it still stands to this day. But as the centuries passed, Sansuna became nothing more than a local.
It's a little jacky. I'll put it back to 480. Yeah, I think I'm best to stick at 480. But lately I've been having to go to 360 in that. But today it seems not too bad. if I do have one of them blackout things, it'll just carry on going. It'll go blank for a bit, and then once I restart, it still stays live. So it did yesterday anyway. So if it does go blank, I'll be back in like a couple of minutes after I restart the computer. You know what I mean? So just forewarning if it does go blank. I heard you, Matria. Good to see you. Good to see you. Caveman. Yeah, the old Neanderthals, you know.
A legend, a myth. No one believed these enormous stonks were carried by a giant. No one believed in giants until they found the bones.
What do you mean nobody believed in giants? I mean, biblically, it says there was giants in them days and big beasts in them days. So I dare say there was a lot of people believed in giants.
Everywhere from Easter Island to there, they get giants.
Aye, exactly. Ad again, I think.
Another ad. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid reading the Bible.
Wow.
And, they go through
there's got to
many
be ads if you believe in 2 minutes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We're back.
The Maltese Islands have been continuously occupied for thousands of years.
Sorry, bro.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah. Okay.
They're strategically important. They're 60 miles from Italy and 180 miles from North Africa, right in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. The Phoenicians were the first empire to claim Malta. Then came the Romans, then the Byzantines, the Arabs, and the Christians. In 1530, Malta
coming to claim all these places when it was already bloody inhabited. That's what we're doing. It. We go and conquer and claim, and like, wow, it's same with like the native Indians and that. It like, you know what I mean? People were in America, but like people were in America before the Americans. You know what I mean? Native Indians, Canada and America and that. It's crazy. Yeah, we went and inhabited this place. Like it was empty in the first place. No, there's always been people there in these lands. Like it's just been discovered. It's not discovered if it's already there, and if there's already inhabitants on it. There probably always was inhabitants on it. You remember, God scattered people all over the place.
Yeah. I think it's why they fight us so much.
Governed by a nobleman named John Abela. He was the first person in a...
Say again, Roger.
That's why they fight the flat Earth so much, because we know there's more out there, dude. You know what I'm saying? There's other places.
Absolutely.
Dude. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You'll have to forgive me. Like sometimes if you speak, if I've already started playing the video, there's a little delay, maybe 2-3 seconds between us talking. So sometimes I hit play while you're talking, but I hear you and I'll stop it and that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, here we go.
Long time to take interest in the temples on the islands. He collected artifacts and documented ancient buildings. Most were buried in debris from centuries of neglect, but a little digging revealed the structures were enormous. Abela didn't understand how these huge temples could be built by ancient farmers.
And look at the size of some of the steps that you get. You see all these steps and stuff, and you think, it's not a normal man striding them steps, because you have to climb some of the steps that were made. You know?
And the doors are huge.
Yeah,
too.
I think it's someone with a larger stride.
Oh,
yeah, exactly, dude. The doors are so massive that they put little doors inside the doors for us to go through.
I got a question for you, PJ. Over in England, are there any crystal palaces still standing over there?
Crystal palaces?
Yeah, they have.
No, but there is a. Yeah, I know you're. There's a football team called Crystal Palace, but for being Crystal Palaces, I don't know. I don't think so.
They were huge. They put them around all over the world during the World's Fairs. They would go to each one of the capitals and they would build a Crystal Palace, and they introduced airships inside the Crystal Palaces, and they had like display for technology and stuff. This is back in the 1800s, man.
Wow.
They
Let me just. Let me just find out why Crystal Palace's football team's called that.
Good idea.
2 6. Why? Oh, sorry. I'm just doing it on my phone, so I don't have to flick about in the computer. Why is Crystal Palace called Crystal Palace? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Crystal Palace is an area in South London. Right, that's why the team's called that. So, Crystal Palace is an area in South London named after Crystal Palace exhibition building, which stood in the area from 1854 until it was destroyed by fire in 1936. So, yes,
that's always the excuse. All
is
the
it always the
palaces,
excuse?
it burned down. Yeah,
So,
they all burned down.
How did a palace made of crystal burn?
I don't know. That's a question, ain't it, dude? Gotta ask that
Wow.
question. Yeah.
So, wow.
They were huge.
I did not know. I did not know it was called Crystal Palace because of that. I'd like to see is there any pictures of Crystal Palaces and stuff?
Oh yeah, there's a guy named Autodidactic. He actually has a whole series on Crystal Palaces. He's in Australia. He went around doing expos and World's Fairs and stuff, and he was reviewing all of them, and they had Crystal Palaces in most of the major cities in the world.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We had one here.
Oh, hold on.
One in New York, in Chicago.
Got you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up some videos of them Crystal Palaces and that, see what it's, and we can do a stream on it. Hold on. Yeah, Barbara said, PJ Sov said we only needed you to show up last night to complete Flatzoid's group on the stream, complimenting my book. Oh, that is good. Oh, what did Flatzoid turn up to Sov's as well?
No,
I was definitely asleep. Oh, didn't he? Okay.
No.
So
no, unless he did after I left.
To compete in Fletcher's group on the stream.
Yeah, we had fun going through his video.
Okay.
The Veritas guy. Yeah.
Said we only needed you to show up last night to complete Flatzoid's group on his stream. Oh, got you. I got you. Yeah. Usually when Sov's on, unless I'm awake, unless I'm having my doubts of being awake, then I don't see Sov until the next day. I usually see Sov after. I usually actually wake up when he's ending his stream, when he's like about 20 minutes to go, or sometimes I wake up halfway through, stick him on, go about to say something in chat, and I fall asleep again. There's only a few times I've caught Sov live and actually been on the show myself, but that would have been cool if I've been there. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have to try and stay up one night and do Sovs again.
El was there with me when I was there.
Yeah, because I feel bad because Sov is the only kind of channel out of us, like with Flats and that. I go on my own, but Sovs is always at the time that I am trying to get to sleep or I'm asleep. A lot of the time I'm not asleep.
He's in the same time zone with me. He's right up the hill from me.
Yeah, but you seem not to sleep that much, do you? You don't sleep too much, do you?
No, I work at night, so I'm usually. I work the mid shift. I work till midnight. Yeah.
Yeah, Barbara,
it's definitely a
good. Oh, nice. Barbara, yeah, it's definitely a nice compliment from Sov because, I mean, Sov and Flats. I mean, I know my stuff in that, but Sov and Flats are kind of in a different league for me. Debating wise, anyway, they could debate a lot better than I could. I'd end up going. I know the information. I don't know all the technical terms and certain things in formulas and stuff like that. But logically, I know what's going on. You know what I mean? But if I was to go in a debate, I'd end up. I'm not as patient as them. I don't think that way. I'd end up looking like I'm lying because I'd lose it a little bit because I know what they're trying to do and it bothers me. You know, so I'm not. Even though I'm quite placid, I think I would lose it in a kind of debate scenario, unless it's just a friendly debate on your channel or whatever. But when it's all these, McToons and FTFEs, it would so frustrate me. And because they use all the technical terms and all that, don't get me wrong, I know what they mean when they say them, but I'm not one for them. You know what I mean? I like words as much as the next person. I like literature and that, but when they're just talking all these technical terms and all that just to make themselves look intelligent, it's just ridiculous. Just say it how you say it, dude. You know, say it how you say it.
I would put you as streetwise.
One day, a worker found something.
Sorry.
I put you as
I'm definitely
streetwise.
Yeah, I'm definitely streetwise. Absolutely.
There's the difference between being a nerd and a regular dude, you know.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from the University of Life. You know what I mean? I got expelled from school. I was decent enough in school when I was there, and I got to do my prelims. But when it came to my GCSE exams, that's what they are over here. They wouldn't let me do it unless I had a legal guardian with me, and my sister was my legal guardian, and she wouldn't come, so I didn't get to do my exams. But if I got to do my exams, I dare say I would have passed them. But yeah,
I guess it doesn't take much.
No,
the curriculum they teach in public schools are dirt, dude. Be honest.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course it is. Of course it is. It's just rubbish.
That's why people believe all the stuff they believe, man.
Of course. That's right. That's right.
Wedged in a rock fissure. When Abela saw it, the answer to who built the huge structures was clear. They were built by a giant. The worker handed Abela a femur, the largest bone in the human leg. Except this femur was twice as large as a normal human's. A person with a femur this big would be about 10 feet tall.
2 seconds. Wow, I got tongue-tied then. No, 2 seconds, Roger. I was going to call you Roger. I'm just about to put my coffee in the microwave. It's gone a little cold, so I'll press play on this and leave it to go.
Yep. Soon, Abela had workers all over the island hunting. And by 1647, he had enough bones to publish a pioneering book that made him famous. He's been called the father of Maltese history.
Tell the people the name of this famous book there.
That's not really important to the story.
Yeah, you can't pronounce it.
It's Italian. I can pronounce it.
Go ahead then.
It's not.
$20 says you can't do it.
Abela's book was titled Della descrizione di Malta Isola nel mare siciliano con le sue antichità ed astre notizie.
Take it.
Grazie mille.
Show off.
The book documented skull fragments, giant femurs and tibias, impossibly large vertebrae, and enormous pelvic bones. Abela concluded that the Maltese temples were built by a prehistoric race of giants that lived on the islands. Abela turned his home into Malta's first museum. He put the bones on display and opened the museum to the public. Anatomists and naturalists who saw the large bones agreed they must have belonged to giants. Skeptics said they were animal bones, and until the sites were fully cleared, there was no way to know for sure. Then centuries later, proper archaeological excavations were done.
Animal bones, I think, through shapes and that and sizes, I mean, in general size, you can tell the difference between an animal femur, I don't know if it was a femur we still on about, or a human femur.
It was a femur.
Yeah. Even in humans, they could tell a child's femur and an adult's femur because of the size, obviously difference in probably age or whatever. They can tell. So to say it's from an animal doesn't cut it, I don't think that cuts it.
Hey, PJ, you ever read the Smoky Gods?
No, I haven't.
It's a Hollow Earth book. You ever heard of that stuff, right?
Okay.
And at the entrance to the north entrance to the Hollow Earth, there were these people called the Smoky Gods. They were twice, 3 times as tall as average men. They claim it was a documentary, but I'm not really 100% sure about that. But there's a lot of books like that I grew up with. They were my grandparents had books like that stuff when I was growing up. So
yeah, man, I'll have to keep my eye out for something like that. Definitely, Johnny Edwards. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. How is it down under, dude? How is it down under in that gravity well?
He's swimming.
Good to see you.
Swimming in gravity.
Man. He's swimming in gravity. Good to see you, Johnny, man. Good to see you.
Done. But what they uncovered didn't solve the mystery. It added to it.
Ooh, added.
It's time to
It's time for a
wake
commercial.
people up to this deeper history.
Yeah. No.
Sci-fi crimes. Here we go.
That's it.
In 1915, a Maltese farmer kept hitting large stone blocks while plowing his field, so he contacted the Malta Museum director, Sir Temi Zamet. Expecting more temple remains, Zamet instead found something quite different, a massive statue. The top had been destroyed, but the bottom remained, 2 giant legs and feet. The statue was over 10 feet tall. Workers kept digging.
I wonder if he is the goldfish as well. I wonder if it's his voice or if it's
I'm
somebody
pretty
else.
sure of it, dude.
He's got a good relationship. Yeah. He's got a good relationship with that goldfish.
Yeah, what's the fish's name? It's got a name tag on his bowl. What does it say? Hector fish. Look at it next time you see the goldfish bowl.
Heckler.
Heckler.
I know what it is. I know what it is. It's Heckler. Yeah, Heckler.
So he's heckling him. Yeah, he's his own audience, dude. That's funny.
That's it. I'm just going to check that link that Jamak put in and see what that is. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a site. I was thinking it was a video. Okay. Constructed by the Knights of St. John. Malta is an island. Okay. It's about Malta.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And to do with the Giants as well.
You've seen the Maltese cross and the Maltese falcon and everything that goes with Malta. It's a royal island, dude. It really is. Yeah. But it has a history.
It is. It's got the crown in that there. It's got it's got the coat of arms, Order of Malta Knights of Malta, whatever they were calling themselves that week. It's a good little site. I might have a look at that later. That's cool. No point in going through it in here, but yeah. Ooh, but I got a little thing with it in the top of the thing saying not secure. Wow, that's the first time I've had a not secure from a site. Wow. Right. Yeah. Ooh, somebody came in. Was that you coming in again?
Nope.
Because I just seen your I seen another avatar, then it disappeared. Oh, they usually need to ask for my permission. That's weird. Oh well. Are you still about, babe? Oh yeah, you are. Hello, Jonah. I understand. Hello, Jonah. Right, here we go. I'm just blethering crap now.
And what was a buried statue turned out to be much more. The statue was...
it's not hecklerfish, it's hecklefish. Wow, look at this.
Middle of a complex group of megalithic temples. Zamet uncovered one of the most significant and impressive archaeological sites in Malta. They're known as the Tarshian temples. 4 structures in all, arranged in a cloverleaf pattern only visible from above. The temples were made from limestone blocks. Some are 20 feet tall and weigh over 50 tons. Walls, doorways, even floors made of enormous stones that fit together perfectly. He kept digging. Zamet oversaw the excavation.
There you go, that's my point. Stones, and that is Vicky, fit together perfectly. Perfectly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I see you haven't changed your avatar. Do you
know what I've just realised? When you don't send me the link in WhatsApp, it doesn't take me to my app. It just takes me to the site. And so, like normally, if I'm on the app, I can go into YouTube and look at the comments and that. I can't on the normal site.
Got you. That's iPhones for you, baby. Yeah, right.
No, it's your fault.
Yeah, you
my
send
fault.
her the link.
Yeah, you didn't WhatsApp me the link.
Okay, well, I'll WhatsApp it from now on. But you just said because it's in chat, there's no point. So yeah, I'll WhatsApp it from now on if you want. No problema.
No, I can't see chat.
So what's the picture we're looking at right now? You see it? You see that face
what, on
in
Vikings?
there? No.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah. Is that supposed to be a head? Yeah.
Oh, you mean on the background? I know. Let me go bigger.
Yeah.
I can't
That's
see a
strange
face.
looking. No, in the middle
Oh
of
yeah.
the square. Yeah.
Yeah. I get you. Oh yeah.
I see shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
I
Of
do that
course,
when I
I
was
get
a
you.
kid. When I was a kid, I used to stare at like patterns and I'd make faces out of them
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. They
This
got a
one
name
here.
for that crap.
Can you see this here? This looks like a baby screaming. Half a baby's face. This one
Yeah,
here
it
where
does
my
that one.
pointer's at.
I
If you
see
can
it.
see it. Yeah.
And, and it wasn't made by cavemen, I
Yeah.
can tell you
If you go to
that.
Captain Caveman's, if
I've heard
if
of
you
them.
go to but if you go to Captain Caveman's channel, yeah, Captain Caveman. Well, he's got he gets the pictures of the globe up that they've used and puts lines of symmetry in them and mirrors certain patterns in them. And there's a lot of demonic faces that you see. Definitely, whether that's intentional or not, I would say it is. But there's definitely a
Probably.
lot of demonic. And even if it's not intentional, there's a spiritual thing out there. A bad spiritual force called Satan. Well, not a force. He's actually real. You know what I mean? When I say things like force, I don't mean it's just an energy, like some people think. No, he's a real angel, original
I
angel,
think
but not
he
enemy.
lives underneath the Vatican, dude.
Yeah,
He's right.
yeah, absolutely. He's directly under the Pope, so the Pope's got a direct line to Satan himself.
Well,
Right,
the Pope is a Jesuit now, right? Which
well,
is
yeah,
supposedly that's against the rules, dude.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Hiya, Minnie. What you saying, you little crap bag? She all right?
Yeah, she's just crying because the postman came.
Oh, no doubt. Right, I'll press play.
Nearly 30 different sites, all megalithic, all made with enormous limestone, stacked in close-fitting slabs. The obvious question plaguing Zamet was, how could Stone Age farmers on a remote island build these things? The temple excavated at Amnidra is even more mysterious. It might be the world's oldest calendar. On the equinoxes, the sun hits the main axis of the temple. On the solstices, the sun hits the opposite axis. The alignment is perfect. Almost. Now, it might seem odd that a culture that could build a site...
That would probably be good evidence for flat Earth and not a globe.
Yeah, but he did reference an
with
axis.
such precision would be off by a few degrees. So what went wrong? Well, nothing.
Yeah, I know. He did reference the axis on there. I did notice that.
As you know, the Earth slowly wobbles on its axis, and the position of the stars...
I would like to disagree there.
Yeah.
It does not wobble on its axis because it has no axis. If it had an axis of spin, it would have two axes. Hold on, a flat disc. What would it have? It would have one axis and then another. Yeah, it would have two levels of axis. It could have, but it hasn't at all, and it wouldn't wobble even if it was spinning. But it's not. It's stationary. Biblically, Scripture says it's stationary, and it's settling not a blooming sphere. It's about time they got this out of their heads. It's so obvious it's not a sphere. It's beyond a joke. Go on, Roger.
People
I
that
have to
believe
go
it,
and
dude.
say
Yeah.
There is.
People that actually think it is.
It's crazy.
The sky does move. It does, but it goes right back to where it was. It doesn't really change that much.
Exactly. It resets. Let's see if Vicky's dropped out. I'm sure she'll drop back in. Yeah.
Well, that's the way we found our way around is the fact that it's always the same. We wouldn't be able to find our way around where we are now. That's the point.
Exactly right.
And Nathan had a good debate about that today. He was in a politics server, and he was handing them their ass to them, dude. They're coming with arguments from 10 years ago.
Got you. Yeah, no, they are. because I can't believe it's actually it'll be 10 years next year that I became flat earther, 2015. But it's been going, it's been back in the like it started coming back about 2014, didn't it? Something like that on
Oh yeah,
YouTube.
yeah. They keep revolving in the same cycles themselves, like over and over again. You get hearing the same stuff, dude. I swear to God, I've heard over the past 8 years, I've heard it change and go back through the same cycle every 4 years. It's what they're teaching in the universities, man. They're just
I know
spitting out the same crap that they heard. Yeah, their explanations are wanted in some regards for sure, but they still
exactly.
teach heliocentrism, man. It's the way of the
Yeah,
astronomer. That's what they teach. Yeah,
I know. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous now. Um, and to think things are so vast, it's escapism. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
while they're trying to use escapism, to get they're imprisoning themselves. They're putting themselves in bondage by using escapism. It sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. By being
yeah.
part of escapism, you're actually putting yourself in bondage. You know what I mean? That's what
Oh,
indoctrination is, bondage.
well, Jaron went through this a while back. He went into astronomy itself, and they actually have Bibles for each one of the planets. They actually have dogma, and it's a religion. Like they worship Neptune,
Uh-huh.
Saturn, Uranus. They have like books for each one of these gods, and they're like temples that are built to them. Artemis is there's a temple
Yeah.
in Greece named after him, and they worship the planet Uranus, and the star Artemis was their guide. They literally think they're deities that created this place.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's so
Oh yeah,
stupid.
it's a religion though, dude. It's just as bad as
That's
any
it.
other.
Of
Yeah,
course, of course.
yeah,
It's like you say, it's same as any other religion. Religion is bondage itself, because
yeah.
it's made by man. Religion is not godly,
No,
because it
well,
incorporates God and it doesn't make it godly, doesn't make it righteous and holy. It's what I mean. Religion is man-made. It's your relationship with God that counts, not what you do or to be under law. We're under
well,
grace.
like
If you
dude,
accept that grace, we're under grace.
yeah.
Yeah.
Christianity
So
is one of the few that actually empowered the individual
yeah,
compared to the rest of them. Yeah,
exactly.
some
The
people
rest of
take
them
it
is what.
too.
Yeah, the rest of
Sorry.
them. It's like what you do for God and religion. You know what I mean? This is like what did Jesus do for you? I mean, I know it's about Jesus, but He did this for us. You know what I mean? So we could be saved. Any other religion, you have to work towards being saved. You have to work for salvation, and there's no salvation in it because it's false. You know.
Yeah. Oh,
And
well,
like my
what?
video did quite well, that Islam to Christianity. There was a few hecklers in there saying, "Well, they couldn't have been real Muslims in the first place if they changed to Christianity." No, they were real Muslims. They just seen the saving grace of Christ. They just seen the truth.
Yeah.
Simple. Not hard. You just have to accept it. You just have to accept
Oh,
it and confess it. That's it.
the thing I get out of it is that uh, Christ actually was a actual human, but he was God incarnate, and
Absolutely.
he put his ass on the line for you.
He did.
Yeah,
Absolutely did.
and he. I mean, it's not a sissy religion, dude. It's Christ went
Oh
through a lot. No.
no,
And a lot of
definitely.
people think
A lot
that
of people.
if they do, they're
Yeah.
weak because of it. It's not a weakness, dude. It's far from it.
No.
It's a yeah,
Oh wow, it's hard to be a Christian. I mean, you've got to choose to love people you don't like. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
natural to not like people, and you know what I mean. You've got to choose to love someone that you don't like. Choose to love a lot of people you don't like. And love, I keep saying, yes, it can be an emotion, but this type of love, unconditional, You've got to Agape love. It's a choice. You've got to choose to do these things. You might not like them, but you love them. You say with your kids, I don't like you right now, but obviously I love you. I mean, you can your kid could play up and say, you don't like what they're doing, and you feel honest dislike towards them, but you love them still. You know what I mean?
That has nothing to do with love, dude. Love is an unconditional thing, right?
Unconditional and a choice. Yeah, and a choice. Absolutely, bro. Yeah, Vicky's just popped out because her friend come round. That's what she was saying, Tracy. Tracy says, I'll be back. Tracy's here. And I know why she dropped out because I mate Tracy. If she's probably hearing me on the TV right now, I don't know. Tracy, you're so loud, it's unbelievable. If you can hear me, I can hear you. I can hear you in Vicky's thunder. Vicky's gone away, and I can hear you from here. We're 20 miles away. You're so loud, Tracy. Right, here you go.
Changes over time. This is called precession. There was a time when the temple of Amnija was in perfect alignment with these celestial events. 10,200 BC.
Lord, that means
Yep.
the Younger Dryas.
10,200 BC.
10,200 BC. No such year. No such year.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's just after the end of the Younger Dryas, when the ice sheets melted and a great flood rushed over the earth. But it was quick.
Oh, he's going Pangea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The flood was. Yeah, the flood was quick. Okay. The flood was quick, and you know this.
They're preaching Pangea, where the continents were divided by the Great Flood. Yeah.
Of course. But do they not realize that these continents are not floating on top of the water? Do they realize these continents are fixed at the ocean bed? You know what I mean? Wow.
Well,
if you took the water away, Rogan say the other day. If you took the water away, these continents wouldn't just sink. It wouldn't just flow away with the water and then rest at the bottom of the seabed because they're already attached. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I heard Joe Rogan say we're sitting on top of a giant sea of lava and we're just floating on the top of it, which is nonsense. They're talking about the molten iron core and all that crap. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Well, if you only drilled down just less than 8 miles, then how the heck do you know that? How the heck would you know that there's molten lava down there, a molten core? Exactly. And you know the gravity I was taught at school. I was taught at school. Part of gravity was, and Flats remembers this as well. In some cases,
the magnetic.
We were magnetized to Earth by the molten core, by the core of the Earth. That was part of gravity. We're magnetized to Earth. That's what I was told.
Well, they're throwing a lot of the they're throwing a lot of the Masonic crap with the toroidal field and how there's two poles that wrap around everything. You've seen the model, haven't you?
Of course. Yeah.
And that's where we get the Aurora Borealis comes from too. And it's not.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Yeah. Of course it is. Barbara said, hey, I addressed my boys' behavior I didn't approve of rather than calling them names the way I was raised because I love them, but I didn't like what they were doing. Exactly. I mean, come on, I used to be a drug addict. My mum loved me, obviously, but she hated what I was doing. She hated what I was doing to myself and what it did to me and what it did to the family. Do you know what I mean? My sister loved me, but she hated what I was doing. You know, it's still a choice, even with your family. You can hate your family. Absolutely. I know people have families that hate each other. You know what I mean? Just because you have a kid that you love and you might have that bond with from childhood, doesn't mean to say they might not do stuff that you will hate and will make you grow to dislike them a lot. But you love them by choice still. You know, still. Iron sharpens iron, so they say, don't they? Well, so the Bible says. It's not so they say. So the Bible says. And
wasn't that Paul that wrote that? Yeah.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron. Absolutely. Yeah, Paul. Or was it Paul? Let's check. He might have used it, but was it not? Yeah, I think it is Corinthians. Let me just check. Sharpens. Well, no, I did think it might be Paul using it, but it originally come from Proverbs, I think. So that's why I was wanting to check.
So
yeah, Proverbs
Solomon.
27:17. Yeah, Proverbs 27:17. As sharps as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Yeah, yeah. So Paul might have used it, but yeah, it's certainly Old Testament. That's why I checked, because a lot of stuff that the writers of the New Testament say is wisdom from the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always have to check it.
Those books are very connected, aren't they?
Yeah.
Even though they're written by like 68 different writers wrote them. So they were reading each other's books, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, the Bible took what 1,500 years to write. It's got over 40 writers, 66 books, and it had more. Obviously, Ethiopia still use 88. I think it's 88, something like that. I keep changing that number from 82 to 83 to 88. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's between 82 and 88. Yeah, let's carry on.
Go ahead.
Merciless. Coastal cities were gone, shredded by a mile-high tsunami moving at the speed of sound. Their remains scattered at the bottom of the sea. The only human survivors were the ones on higher ground. The entire landscape...
Water moving at the speed of sound. Is that what he's trying to say?
That's what he said.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
Nothing would have survived.
Wow.
Yeah. And that worked out on a globe too. Imagine that.
So water would have made a sonic boom. The water would have made a sonic boom then.
Oh yeah.
of the earth
that
was
on the ball.
changed.
It won't work.
The cause of the flood is still being debated. Some say it was caused by the impact of a giant asteroid.
Say that again, Roger.
It wouldn't have worked on a ball. You look at the P-brain. He shows the actual physics of how water does, and if it was on a ball, it would have went everywhere, dude. And gravity's not strong enough, even in theoretical terms, to actually hold that water in place. That's why during earthquakes and stuff, if you ever watch a waterway or a pool or anything during an earthquake, it splashes everywhere. It goes everywhere.
Exactly, bro. It's just ridiculous. Barbara said it said 711 books were removed from the Bible, which makes sense, as 66 plus 711 equals 777, number of completion, perfect and rest. Yeah, exactly. Seven's God's favorite number. It's always used, like 7 candlesticks, 7 of this, 7 of that. It is the number of perfection, completion. Yeah, absolutely, Barbara. Vicky back yet? No, I'm just checking things not there. Right, let's go.
Destroyed, while others believe it was a massive solar event. But Zamet was exploring in Nidra in the early 1900s. He didn't know anything about asteroids or solar storms, but he did know the story of the Great Flood. The flood was the wrath of God, meant to destroy the Nephilim. The flood was meant to kill the giants.
Huh?
Absolutely. You got that right. You got that right. Absolutely right.
So now we know about asteroids and solar storms. So now all the rest of history changes, right? No.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right, man.
So they're making up their own myth. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
Of course, as usual. As usual. Some of it might make sense, but the rest of it's made up. So it doesn't matter if you've got truth mixed in with lies. That makes the truth a lie. You know, it doesn't. It makes it unreal. It's still falsities at the end of the day.
It's science, dude. I mean, science has its own rules.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mentioned in the book of Genesis, they're described as warriors who are large and strong. The Bible doesn't go into much more detail than that. But if we look to holy texts outside the Bible, we get the full story. The book of Enoch is not included in the canonical Bible for most Jews and Christians, but it's an important work, especially within the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and among scholars of early Judaism and Christianity.
Book of Enoch, link below.
The book tells a story about the origins of evil.
Book of Enoch, link below.
I like little Hecklefish. He's okay.
Oh yeah, he is. He's funny.
It starts with angels called the Watchers.
Yes.
God entrusted them with the task of overseeing.
Oh, he must have read up on it then. He's talking about the Watchers and that. So, okay, let's see what he says. Yeah, let's see what he says about it. Well, look at this angel here. I mean, them wings would not keep him in flight. That's for sure.
No.
Wow, those wings. Do you think angels look so metrosexual like that? You know?
Oh,
Is that what angels look like? They put makeup on and pluck their eyebrows and all that.
Yeah. Only on a GQ magazine, dude.
Only in the GQ.
Mankind, and they provided order and guidance. Eventually, the angels rebelled. They took human wives, which was forbidden. The Watchers were cast out from heaven and forced to live in the underworld. But their evil remained on Earth. The Watchers and their human wives had offspring. These hybrid beings were mighty giants called the Nephilim. According to the Book of Enoch, these giants wreaked havoc on Earth and are the reason God created the flood. He meant to destroy the children of the Watchers from amongst men.
I mean, some of these illustrations of the giants, I do like the illustrations because, I mean, how they get described that, you know what I mean, huge. They could be malformed, they could be perfectly formed, but they were huge and definitely beastly. But yeah, I like these illustrations. I mean, because I do think possibly they could have looked like that. You know?
Yeah. I can see it.
You never know. Yeah.
Of course, if the Nephilim were destroyed in the flood, they'd be long gone before the early Maltese farmers settled on the island. But in the Book of Numbers, there's more to the story. Moses sends spies to explore the land of Canaan. They report that some giants may have survived the flood.
The land through which we have gone to spy it out is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are of great height. And there we saw the Nephilim, and we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them.
The Maltese legend of Sansuna goes back thousands of years.
To feel like a grasshopper to anything, that thing must be huge. Must be.
That would scare you, though, for sure.
I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine seeing something like a Titan that's like a mile, just say a mile high? I mean, when it walks, to us, it would just look like it's walking in slow motion, I think, you know, like if it stepped over you, it would be like, I suppose, that you see in the movies, it actually looks like to them, it would be like, I suppose it would be relative in that aspect, in that sense. Do you know what I mean? I suppose it would be relative because of your size, you know? I don't think
it would be other worlds, like.
Exactly right, dude. Exactly. I mean, how do we look like? What do we look like to an ant? Is it able to define what we look like, or are we just a big, huge mass to it? Can it see us moving? I don't know, because it's so small compared to us. Does it even recognize us?
Yeah, I just thought about it. You can see a Dell ant going, "It's moving." Because it's moving.
Definitely. Modern translation, slugs nowadays. There you go, Jonah. Jonah, man.
Before the Bible was written, yet that legend aligns perfectly with what's told in the Book of Enoch. Sansuna was a demigod stranded on the island, a giant who survived the flood, and she wanted to continue her species.
Bad idea.
But there were no other giants on the island.
Okay.
But she might have taken a human male as a mate. That would explain the skulls.
Wait, skulls? What skulls? What? Skull? No. Don't show the logo. Don't show the logo. Crap.
Is that the logo?
There we go.
I guess so. Here we go. Another commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if there's such a thing and it's passed down, and there's probably still giants here today. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mightn't there be giants on, like you say, we was talking about, is it the Pacific, how big it is on their globe? One side of the globe is complete sea of the Pacific. It's just sea, just ocean, you know? So,
yeah.
I mean, couldn't there be a land in that ocean somewhere where there could be giants on there? You know what I mean? I mean, it's a big old area. It's a big old area to be able to miss land if you're sailing. You get one degree wrong, you've got to miss something completely, depending on the angles, how far out you are. So, isn't it possible that there could be lands with giants? I think so.
Yeah,
whether
probably,
there is
probably what happened.
Yeah,
probably what happened to Amelia Earhart. She probably landed on one of those islands, and they got her.
Yeah. Morning, Mr. Cheswick. Why haven't you got a spanner? You have not got a spanner, Mr. Cheswick. So you shall have one now.
He hasn't put out a new song in a while.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
he's a
definitely
master.
Love him. Yeah. Absolutely, without a doubt. There you
go. We got a new target now. The Veritas guy is making a song about him. Yeah.
Vicky, I was going to say, did you have me on the TV earlier? Because if you did, I said hello to Tracy, and I told her to shut her loudmouth. I don't know if she heard me or not. I don't know if I was on the TV, babe. So you'll have to let me know. But if you're coming in, do you want me to send the link to your WhatsApp, or do you want to just come in on the link at the top? Let me know, babe. Right.
In 1902, the British Navy expanded its base in Malta, and new housing developments started popping up all over the islands. On one job site, workers were digging out an area for a large water tank. Suddenly, the ground gave way, exposing an enormous...
No problem, Mr. Cheswick. Where it is, like, if it, all the flat earthers and that come to my channel, I give a spanner to just so everybody's equal. I know it seems like it's pointless because you can't do anything to each other, but it's just to show equal. And if there's any trolls that do come, and every one of you is just prepared, because I don't really tolerate trolls. Yeah, I mean, I'll let a Glober come in, no problem, and talk what they've got to say. But if an anti-flat earther comes in chatting his crap like they did the other day, then they get gone. It's simple as that. So yeah, that's why I give everybody spanners just so they're equal. So there's no point in having a couple of moderators and everybody else like, well, why? Do you know what I mean? I just give everybody one so everybody's prepared. You know what I mean? So everybody's in the blue. I'm starting to get a bit choked up, I think. I'll press this, playing this, and go and blow my nose.
Enormous underground chamber. Excavations revealed a subterranean maze of rooms and burial chambers. Zamet named the site the Hypogeum, the Greek word for underground. What Zamet found mirrored the megalithic temples above ground. There are limestone walls and doorways, the same slate floors. The stonework is precise and massive. Zamet and his team were stunned by the size of this underground world. Then they discovered this was just the first level. There were 2 more levels below, maybe more. And the Hypogeum was full of well-preserved artifacts. The most common design was the same found everywhere on the island, the figure of a giantess. Many parts of the Hypogeum were used as a burial site. That meant there would be bones. Zamet?
Yeah, what you, oh my God, in that.
Oh, yeah. That fish. That's funny.
Oh, yeah, the fish. Yeah, he's good, isn't he? He's good. Yes. Yeah. I like him.
It recovered the remains of more than 7,000 people. Some of the bodies date back to the Neolithic period. He documented every bone he found until he got to a group of skulls he couldn't quite explain. 12 of them. The skulls were elongated.
Like alien heads.
Well, they do look like that. But Zamet knew many cultures around the world.
Roger was just saying about Pangaea before the floods. We were talking about Pangaea that a minute ago. And we was just saying about, like the continents drifting apart from Pangaea to become what they are now. And the continents ain't floating on top of the water. You know what I mean? They're attached at the seabed. Just like, do you know what I mean? They're not just like lily pods floating on top of the water. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think that.
No, we're floating on
Roger,
turtle's back right now.
Yeah, and then Roger said about Joe Rogan saying we're just floating on molten lava, you know, which is ridiculous. Because when the molten lava just keep melting away at the bottom of the earth, then that becomes lava, and then that next becomes lava, and then it gets hotter and hotter and hotter until everything is lava. It's just ridiculous to think that.
It's nonsense.
So stupid. Yeah. Of course it is. Of course it is. Seems like heliocentrism. It's fantastical. And we were just indoctrinated into it. So we just thought, even though we recognized or didn't recognize how vast it is, but we understood like, wow, it's so big out there and so vast. It's even in that vastness, thinking like there's loads of places to go to. It's imprisonment. It's putting yourself in bondage by thinking that, and to be in a little place close to God, knowing that when you die you go to heaven, that is not a prison. Look how big the earth is. I mean, the people in it, and how much space there actually still is. And we don't even know how much space there is. The space that we do see, how much space there actually is still. You know, not space up there, space on the ground, terrestrial space. You know, I'm on about, but it's just all fantastical. I can't remember my point. But yeah, it's fantastical to think it's
I think you got
vast.
There.
Yeah. It's imprisonment, basically. Thinking it's so big and vast is imprisonment. It's bondage.
Oh.
And
PJ,
it being personal, close and personal. Sorry?
We could build a rocket and fly to the next one. Yeah.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's build a rocket and fly to the next one. In fact, let's try going to the moon. Oh, holy crap. Didn't they already do that? They stopped going in 72 and say they can't get back to the moon because they've lost their crap and it's a hard process to get it back. Even though we're so superior in technology compared to 69, so superior, and they were so inferior back then, but they went to the moon and we can't.
It's harder to fake now with everybody watching them. So,
of course, they're going to for us to believe that someone's been on the moon. They're going to have to convince the person that's meant to have gone to the moon. They're going to have to convince them that they were on the moon by whatever means. I mean, they've already convinced people that they've been flying to space. There was a program, was it called Space Cadets, back in the late 90s or something, with in the UK, where they convinced people.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And it was so. When you
looked at it, and when you look back at it, it looks so fake, but they believed they were going to space. Wow, so unbelievable. Crazy stuff, man.
Well, obviously, that somebody believed them.
Absolutely.
Mainly the guys that were on the show.
Yeah.
You ever seen the? Hey, PJ, you ever watched the Dave Weiss had these videos? There were some Russian kids who broke into some Russian hangars, and they found shuttles. The shuttles they used to fly out of Russia. And I watched them go through them, and they were all made up. They were airplanes that they mocked up with all these panels, and there was nothing inside of it except like LED lights, and it was hollow. They made it look like it was the actual spacecraft, but it was just an airplane. That's what the shuttles were. Yeah,
exactly.
They weren't using those to go anywhere. They were taking them off and flying them back down. You know.
Yeah. Mr. Cheswick said that Space Cadets documentary is still on YouTube. It was with the guy from Big Breakfast hosting it. Yeah, Johnny Vaughan. I think it's John. Yeah, Johnny Vaughan. Johnny Vaughan? Yeah, John. Yeah, Johnny Vaughan. I was getting Johnny Vaughan and Vince Vaughn mixed up then. Yeah, Johnny Vaughan, I'm sure it is. It was Denise Van Outen and Johnny Vaughan that was on the Big Breakfast, but yeah, Johnny Vaughan, I'm sure that's his name. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'll have to watch that again because you watch it, you look at it. Yeah, John Vaughan. Yeah, it is right. Eager Grace. Yeah, when you watch it now, you can see the screen in front of them where it sees that they're leaving the Earth and all that, and the Earth is becoming a ball. It looks so computer graphic-y, like an old computer graphics, because this was the late 90s. You know what I mean? And I don't know how anybody, if it was nowadays and with the graphics back then, I don't think people would fall for it now. I think nowadays, if someone was to believe they were on the moon, you would have to totally put them under some kind of drugs, into some kind of simulation. You know what I mean? Lots of hypnosis, MK Ultra to actually believe you're on the moon. You know, but I do think they could make people believe that, without a doubt. I do believe they can make people believe that kind of stuff.
Used head binding to stretch their skulls. So Zamet had scientists examine them. And they confirmed that the long cranium was natural, not the result of bonding or boards. But it gets even stranger. Every human skull has a seam between the two parietal bones. It's called the sagittal suture. When we're born, our skulls are flexible. That makes it easier for our big head to,
Square out the baby chute.
Right. As we grow, the two halves of our skull fuse together, forming that seam. But these elongated skulls had no seam at all. That's impossible. That seam is a key part of human development.
So these skulls aren't human.
Nope, they didn't seem human. Well, not completely.
I mean, these Nephilim probably killed the mothers when they were born. You don't know. And that could have happened because they weren't small. These women were just normal size. You know what I mean? The angels had sex with them. These babies might have killed the mothers. You don't know. You know what I mean? They certainly grew to a big size. They might have just been born normal blooming baby size. We don't know. They might have been just born. But I dare say they could have been killed through the process because it wasn't a natural thing, was it? But the angels must have had the anatomy to do it for it to happen. I don't believe all angels have the ability to do that, but yeah, it's just speculation.
It makes you wonder how many different kind of human species there are, dude.
Yeah,
or even angels still on top of that.
Yeah, to be able to procreate with an angel, yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Human.
Sometimes
In 1920, National Geographic magazine reported that the first inhabitants of Malta were an alien race.
Stranger than fiction, that's for sure, bro.
Oh, yeah.
With elongated skulls. Now, Zamet would have called that crazy, except he couldn't explain the skulls otherwise. Then he remembered the story of Sansuna.
Sansu! Nah.
Part of the Sansuna legend is that she carried stones under one arm while cradling a baby in the other. The child was a Nephilim human hybrid. So let's.
That's a mad little photo, isn't it? Yeah, that definitely isn't a real baby. That's for sure. That's an adult-looking face. That's an adult-looking face. Yeah, man. Shiva.
It reminds me of the
skull for a second. For a child to be born with a fully formed skull, it would have to travel through a very...
Absolutely.
The Misfits had a song called Hybrid Moments, and it was written by Glenn Danzig. And I think he makes reference to the hybrid races. Yeah. He sings a song about it, actually.
Got you.
You ever heard of the Misfits?
Yeah. I have heard of them, yeah.
And Glenn Danzig had some insight when he wrote his songs. I think he did a one called Earth AD, like after Christ. And the whole album is basically songs like that. Yeah. About angels and Nephilim. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of wisdom or a lot of things in song lyrics. You know what I mean? If you listen to some song lyrics and really suss out what I mean, it's like, wow. But then there's some song lyrics that you just bop to. It's the lyrics are rubbish. It's just that you like the music. Some lyrics are very uninspiring. You know what I mean? But some lyrics and some songs, man, there's a lot of wisdom in them.
Well, fools got to listen to something, right?
Be large.
Aye, absolutely, bro.
Baby shoot.
Yes. like that of a giant. Now, maybe these skulls belong to the descendants of Sansuna. If they were human Nephilim hybrid children, they would have the size and strength to carve and build the hypogeum. Now, it's a fun story and adds to the legend, but still, this was conjecture. There's no proof of giants living underground in the hypogeum. Until 1940, when someone saw them.
Another blooming commercial.
Oh.
In August 1940, National Geographic magazine printed an interesting and disturbing story about Malta and the hypogeum. First, the article reported that excavators discovered the bones of over 33,000 people who'd been sacrificed by an ancient pagan cult. Then there was the story of the children who went to the hypogeum on a school trip.
A school field trip to an underground cave where thousands of people were sacrificed in a cult?
Yep.
Yeah, they must have signed one hell of a waiver with that permission slip, huh?
Well, I hope so, because the children went in and never came out.
What?
Yep. 30 school children and their teacher went down a passage. They either got lost or stuck behind a cave-in because they were never seen again.
For weeks, mothers
It's like Jonestown.
declared that
What
they had
happened?
heard wailing and screaming from underground. But numerous
weeping, wailing, and the gnashing of teeth. They were probably on the way to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like
trip to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like Jonestown. That was crazy, Jonestown, man. Jonesville.
Oh, yeah.
Jonestown.
Nobody's ever found it, have they? Nobody's ever. The people just gone. Maybe they were raptured up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the old Jim Jones, and you got David Koresh. I mean, yeah, and some of these hyper charismatic Christians.
You know, David Koresh is David Koresh is the son of the original concave earthers. His great grandfather was, that's where it all got started here. That's why the feds were so hard on him and went in and put a stop to him. They don't like concave earthers at all, dude.
No.
They were going all through them.
Well, I mean, I have looked at a few things. When I became a flat earther, I looked into like hollow earth and stuff like that. Not obviously believing it at all, just wanting to see what they said about it. But I can't remember much about it, so I might check some hollow earth stuff in concave.
Concave earthers are a little different. What he did back in the early 30s and 40s, he went through the Southwest with a thing called a rectilinear, and he was trying to measure the horizon everywhere he went, and he wanted to see if it went up because he saw the horizons climb. And people like August Picard add fuel to the fire with his article when he said he saw it looked like a disc with an upturned edge at 10 miles high. Yeah,
of course.
So they read all this stuff and like they went out to prove it, and they went through small towns and they were handing out pamphlets and trying to convert people to become concave earthers, dude. And it became the federal government made them into as the bad guys. So they didn't have a problem going after Koresh. Yeah, that's why they just went in and just shot him up, dude. Yeah.
Got you.
People don't know about that.
Yeah, that's cool. I did not know that. No, I did not know that at all. I did not know that. But yeah, he did say upturned edges, which I mean that could be ice walls. I mean, I'm not saying for sure that's the Antarctica is the ice walls and whatever. I mean, I don't know, but I think it's very, very, very possible and likely. You know what I mean?
Jaren's going down.
I suppose that could. Yeah, I know Jaren and Witsit are going. Yeah. I don't know how wise that is. Maybe. I mean, people who've got a sense of staying away from it, but somebody had to go, didn't they? You know, if it ends up happening at all. If it ends up happening, it's obviously not legit. It's obviously underhanded. Some crap's going on. You know what I mean? But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, man.
if they see the sun set and not get a 24-hour sun, they're gonna have to shut up. They're gonna have to like stop. Yeah,
they have to. Yeah, but like I say, it makes no difference to us. It can be explained either way with us, but for the globe, that's why it's got to be underhanded, because they won't let go of their globe narrative. So if they do go there, it has to look like they're right. It has to. It can't go not in their favor. So yeah, that's how it's got to be underhanded. It's got to be. There's no way that everybody in the NASA are going to declare themselves, oh yeah, we've been lying all along. Government's been lying. They're not going to turn around and say, yeah, we were lying. They've got to carry on with the narrative. So for this to happen, it's got to be underhanded. It's got to be, you know.
Well, I don't think NASA's paying for this. So, and if you look at Duffy's church and his mentor, he was a geocentrist. Like Whitsitt, he thinks the ether is the real thing. I think that's where his mentor was. He wasn't not a globalist, but he believes the Earth is the center. He believes that we're at the center of creation. Yeah.
Is that what Duffy believes?
Well, I think he's in the Globe Club, but he's his mentor, the guy who he took the church over from here, was a geocentrist. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can be geocentric and it can be geocentric and the globe. Well, so they say. Obviously, we know it can't. But yeah,
we're just hanging in the middle of the air.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But
that's we're definitely
yeah, we're definitely geocentric, but not in the globe sense. Not in the globe sense at all. Everything revolves on us. We don't move. Circuits and patterns. That's what it is, man. And that's how they predict stuff. Because it's not predicted, it's observed, and it's been recorded for so long, so they know what's happening because it's happened before, and it'll keep happening. Like a clock comes back on itself every day, you know, twice.
I literally have Polaris tattooed on my arm, and I have the Four Winds tattooed on my leg, and there's two of the things that never change. With Polaris being in the center, and the Big Dipper is always visible to everybody.
Absolutely, always, man. Yeah, always. And it's one of the big old constellations. It spreads right across the sky, the Big Dipper. You know,
you can't miss it, dude.
Can't. To me, I call it. It's the Big Dipper, yeah, but it looks like a saucepan. It's like a big saucepan.
The big pan in the sky.
Big pan in the sky, yeah.
Or cooking fish.
Excavations and searching parties brought no trace of the lost souls. After 3 weeks, they were finally given up for dead.
To this day, the children have never been found, which brings us to the story of Lois Jessup.
All right.
Ooh.
She was in Malta.
Oh, wow. She's a little thin, isn't she?
It's just skin and bones, dude.
Oh, literally, I don't think there's much muscle there. I mean, her arms taper towards her shoulders. Wow, shouldn't it be the other way around?
Yeah. Wow. I know girls like that, though.
Ooh. Yeah, there is. And some of them are not anorexic, they just don't put on weight. They just don't put on weight. Wow. Lois Jessup, let's hear about her.
With a few friends touring the various historical sites. It was a hot summer afternoon, so a local suggested they go see the Hypogeum. Not only was it an amazing historical location, it was underground. It would be nice to get out of the Mediterranean sun.
No, John, I'm just saying the same thing. No meeting her at all. Yeah. Maybe it was during the ration after the war. Maybe it's during the ration period after the war. I don't know. Maybe it was over what? If she's in that, if she's in that photograph there, I think possibly she'd be the second one. That's the thinnest one, but second one from the right.
Like her.
Mm-hmm. It does. So yeah, she's very thin there as well. But her legs don't look overly thin. So it's maybe just a metabolism thing.
It's her frame. Her frame is large.
Yeah. because our legs are not overly skinny. They look quite normal, quite muscular, calves and that. If it's how.
When they found the entrance, they hired a guide named Joe to give them a tour.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah. They weaved through
Joe's
various
the man.
passageways and found the entrance to a mysterious cave. On the
Joe's the dude, man. Joe's the dude. He's always been a dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's my middle name, dude, as well. But mine's just short for Josiah. Mine's just short. My middle. It's not my middle name. It's, I keep saying. Why do I say that? It's part of my first name. That's why I get called Pete. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul hyphen
Josephus. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's is short for Josiah, but it's not. I didn't actually get named Josiah. It's just I got named after my granddad, the Joe part, and he's called Josiah, which I find out later was biblical. Obviously, King Josiah from the Old Testament, very good king. Not spoke about too much, but good king, good old king.
I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Good king in the Old Testament.
The walls were ancient carvings and designs painted with red ochre. The entrance smelled damp and moldy, but once they entered, the air felt clean and dry. Their guide, Joe, told them there were 3 floors of underground rooms. Joe gave Lois and each of her friends a single lighted candle.
Mr. Churchwick, does anyone ever think about reincarnation like we've been here before? I have thought about it before, but I've never ever believed it at all. I've thought about it would have been cool. And some people do believe it. There's definitely a kid that I've seen a documentary about who describes things from a life before. And when the details are checked up, they work out, and there's no way he could have known them things. But supernatural things, you know what I mean? There's things working that while there at the time, demons, stuff like that. They could have told him. It might be complete coincidence. Don't know. But there's certainly people who believe it, and they do have accurate information. However they got the information, I don't know. Because I certainly don't believe reincarnation is real. Without a doubt, it's not real. You know what I mean? It's against scripture for sure. So I've never believed it, but I've certainly thought about it without a doubt. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it would have been cool to the point of if you were reincarnated, being another human again. I didn't think it was good to be like reincarnated as a bug or a butterfly or an animal or something different each time. I wouldn't have liked that idea. But if reincarnated again, even as the same person, but you live the life differently, that type of thoughts, yeah, aye. But
I want to come back as a turkey.
Yeah, aye. And for it being real, no. Sorry, Roger, come on.
I wanted to come back as a turkey, like the White House turkey, the one on the Thanksgiving list, the one that gets parked. I come back next year.
Yes.
Yeah. you don't get cooked.
Aye, I like that. Yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, it's a thought. It's a thought. Yeah, resurrection. The only person that's done that is Jesus. And obviously Lazarus as well. Lazarus has done it because Jesus brought back to life, but he didn't come back. He wasn't reincarnated. He was just brought back to life. Yeah.
Wasn't there an Old Testament prophet that was resurrected, or no? He was carried up to heaven on a chariot. Who was that?
Oh yeah. That was Elijah. Yeah, Elijah got taken to heaven. Didn't Enoch go as well to heaven?
I don't know.
Elijah. I think Elijah went to heaven in a chariot. I think it was Elijah. Yeah, Elijah. It's got to be Elijah. Yeah, he never died. Yeah, Elijah. Yeah. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elijah went up to whirlwind in heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. That's 2 Kings. Yeah,
you're not bad for an anti-Semite. You're reading the Bible, dude. I'm telling you.
That's it, dude. That's it. Yeah, man. But yeah, no, I've never ever actually believed it. I've never actually believed in reincarnation at all. No.
One by one, Lois and her friends entered the cave. The passage was narrow, so they had to crouch and walk single file. They emerged into a large room with smooth limestone walls. The women laughed and talked, and they noticed their voices were echoing and creating a strange humming sound.
That is a cool cave, though, isn't it?
It is.
So you can see the bars just washed aside.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. I mean, look at the erosion, and that's caused by water. With that, wow.
Sound was built thousands of years ago for a powerful oracle. The oracle would perform miracles using certain sounds. Joe said the room would still work today if anyone knew the correct sound to use. Lois and her friends followed Joe through another narrow passage. The ground was steep. They were going down, very far down, into the deepest part of the hypogeum.
Yeah, I don't like where this is going.
Do you mind?
Sorry. I'm just trying to break the tension.
Yeah, I was building tension on purpose.
Oh. Oops.
Lois wasn't sure how far down they went, but her senses told her it must have been 20 or 30 feet. The tunnel opened up to another large room. Cut into the walls were shelves. Lois thought they looked like beds or resting places. She got a closer look. They were shaped like coffins. Joe said they buried their dead in here. He gestured to a slit in the wall, and Lois realized there were slits carved all around the room, evenly spaced. She looked through one and saw skeletons. Lois asked about them, and Joe said they were prisoners and their remains could not be disturbed. They looked around for a few more minutes, then Joe said, "This is the end of the tour. It's time to go back." Then Lois asked Joe, "What's down there?" She was pointing at a small square doorway, maybe 3 feet wide. Joe said, "If you go in there, you go at your own risk, and you won't go far." Now, Lois felt like this was a challenge. She grabbed the length of rope and tied it around her waist. She passed the rope to another friend who did the same, and then another and another. Lois and her 3 friends squeezed through the small opening.
Oh, like a baby chute. Sorry, go ahead.
The 4 women disappeared down the dark chamber. The other 2 stayed behind and waited with Joe. It was dark, but the women still had their candles and they were having fun. This type of adventure was exactly what they were looking for.
And Moses died. Moses died just outside Canaan, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He never got to go in.
Yeah, he did. He didn't go in. He didn't go in, but he died just outside it. I think they say they don't know where he was. You don't know where he was buried, maybe, but he did die. He certainly died. If that's what's being said. But I died at 120, I think. Don't know. Yeah, he certainly died, but he didn't get into the land. But he's seen it, and he was promised it. So he was promised to see it, wasn't he? So he did see it, and his children certainly got into it. So yeah, it was definitely seen by him. He just didn't get that, even though he was promised. But I don't think the promise was for him to get in there. Probably through him that his seed would get there, probably. But yeah, he did see it though. And then Moses and Elijah appeared to them, talking with Jesus. For Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good that we are here." Wow, I hate it when that love heart covers a letter. It covers a word. If you want, I will put up. Yeah.
Finally, the passage opened up and Lois was able to stand. When she got to her feet, she felt herself leaning forward. She was starting to fall. A rush of cold air hit her in the face and she was yanked back. Now, it's a good thing they used the rope. Lois was on a ledge no more than 2 feet wide. Then it was a sheer drop 50 feet down.
Wow.
And from behind, Lois heard a friend tell her to keep going. They were getting claustrophobic in the tunnel, but Lois was frozen. Here's what she saw in her own words.
There, across the cave, from an opening deep below me, emerged 20 persons of giant stature. In single file, they walked along a narrow ledge. Their height I judged to be about 25 feet, since their heads...
You were saying about in the Old Testament someone being resurrected. I don't know about someone was resurrected, but King Saul was allowed to talk to Samuel, the prophet, after he died. He conjured him up, even though it's witchcraft to do so. God must have allowed it for it to happen. Because obviously Samuel died, he would have been with the Lord. So, allowed it to happen for some reason. But yeah, you weren't meant to do them things. But yeah, a lot of people might get confused with things like that, like thinking because it wasn't allowed and it happened, maybe was he resurrected or something? Mixing the stories up. But no, I know what you mean. But yeah, Elijah definitely went to heaven on a chariot, that's for sure.
Well, now we know what happened to the school kids. They were captured by the giants that were down underneath.
The giants were waiting for them. Child's friend asked if I was pissed or stoned. Duality, lol. Jonah. I think you're talking to somebody else there. But it's funny what Jonah says. Jonah makes me laugh, man.
Came about halfway up the opposite wall.
Nice.
They walked very slowly, taking long strides. Then they all stopped, turned and raised their heads in my direction. All simultaneously raised their arms and with their hands beckoned me. Terror rooted me to the spot.
Another gust of wind rushed up from the cavern, this time blowing out Lois's candle, and everything went black. And then she started screaming. She was in pure panic. She heard herself yelling, "Go back, go back," as she shoved her friends back the way they came.
Do you remember the old blimmin' black and white mummy movies? And you used to, you know what I mean? It's like, why? Why are they so scared of the blimmin' mummy? Why does the mummy manage to kill these people? Because the mummy doesn't move. It moves like a mile an hour. You could run away from that mummy. I always used to think them, as a kid, were silly movies. They didn't scare me at all. Dracula's did. Vampire movies did. Like Christopher Lee ones and that. They scared me when I was a kid. But as mummy movies, no, they were awful. Stupid. I don't know why that came to my head. Oh, because she was big. Yeah.
The thing that killed you with mummies was the curse of the mummy.
Yeah.
You take any of the mummy stuff, you're cursed.
Yeah, that's right. You're right enough. Yeah. But yeah, the mummy movies, man, they were so funny. But yeah, Christopher Lee's movies, the Dracula, new Dracula movies, vampire. Don't think any horror movies scares me now. There's some that are disturbing, like Hereditary. That's quite disturbing. But none of them scare me anymore. But Christopher Lee's and Peter Cushing's Dracula movies, yeah, they used to scare me. They used to scare me as a kid.
You like Bela Lugosi?
Who?
Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi.
He was the original.
The original Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Then I didn't realize the name, but yeah, I would have definitely seen that. Yeah, absolutely. I like all the old Dracula movies. I ain't seen them for years. Might have to try and do a watch party on one of them. Surely be allowed that because they're quite old now. You'd have to get hold of it though somehow.
Joe and the other two friends were waiting, and Joe said nothing. But Lois was suspicious.
I looked up at him, our eyes met. I knew that at one time he had seen what I had seen. There was an expression of caution in his eyes, adding to my reluctance to tell anyone. I decided not to.
Lois turned to head back to the surface when Joe grabbed her arm. He said, if you're interested in exploring further, you should join a group. Soon I'll be taking a teacher and her students down there. I'm sure they'd enjoy the company.
Oh!
I left my address with him and asked him to have the school teacher get in touch with me. But I never heard any more about it until one of my friends told me to read the paper.
A few months later, Lois returned to the Hypogeum and found another guide. She wanted to know about the teacher and the children, but the guide shrugged and said he couldn't talk about it. Lois still wanted answers. She asked, where's Joe, the other guide? The man said, ma'am, I alone have been the guide of this catacomb for years. I don't know anyone named Joe.
Dang, Joe.
Lois went to
not just giants, but ghosties. Yeah, man. Good old Joe, man. Good old Joe. He wasn't even alive, and good old Joe. No, he wasn't even alive, but he was still there for her. Absolutely brilliant.
But something about this man frightened her, so she left. And though it had been her favorite place in the world to visit, she never went back to Malta. Never again.
Never. Oh no. Ever.
The islands of Malta are steeped in legends. Giants riding comets and building huge temples. Underground cities where the descendants of the Nephilim hide, capturing any human who wanders a bit too far. Elongated skulls that appear more alien than human. But how much of this is true? Quite a lot of it, actually. But not all of it. The temples on Malta and Gozo remain a mystery. No one knows for sure who built these structures or why. They remain among the earliest freestanding structures in the world. Mainstream archaeology debated the age of the temples for years, saying they couldn't be older than 2600 BC, the Bronze Age. But carbon dating shows they're at least 1,000 years older than that. That's a proven fact. As to whether they go back to the younger Dryas, there's no...
The old Bronze Age, when they were just using bronze. They didn't use anything else but bronze houses, bronze roads.
They had bronze cars back then too.
The Ice Age, and Iron Age, all these different ages, Bronze Age. Crazy, isn't it? No.
The mainstream
just life,
like what? They got 3 ages,
Sorry,
right? The Gold Age, the Bronze. They got 3 ages, and they only go with these certain 3. You got the Bronze, the Iron, the Gold. That was it. Nothing else. That's all.
That's it. And I don't know. Will we ever have a Platinum Age? Let's see.
Maybe. Wombat said the Flintstones lived there. Yabba dabba doo.
Yeah, Flintstones, exactly. Yeah. I've actually got Yabba Dabba Doo on. That's my lounging about t-shirt.
No physical evidence. But the solar alignment theory about Amnidra is true. It would align perfectly if it was built between 13,000 years ago. We just can't prove it. But for years, mainstream science did get the age of these sites wrong. They were built during a time before humans had the tools to work stone so precisely. They were built before the wheel. They were built before writing, but there they are. You couldn't build these things without very advanced engineering and logistics. Nobody has yet to explain how this could have been achieved. As for the giants, the giant bones Abela found in the 1600s turned out to be from elephants, not actual giants. So above ground, there's no evidence of giants.
Yeah, there is. Of course there is. See, I told you he would always be on the side of it's not really real. Yes, there is some fake things. Of course there is. Without a doubt, some fake pictures and that. But there's evidence of giants. Without a doubt.
There's two here in the museum in Denver. They can't date it back to a billion years ago. As a matter of fact, they won't even let us look at it. So
no.
Dinosaurs. Yeah.
See, yeah. Things will be hidden according to the narrative.
It's just jacked up.
Below ground, things get a little more complicated. But let's clear up a few things first.
Exactly.
Zamet didn't find 7,000 skeletons. He found about 7,000 bones. In all, about 120 individual skeletons have been identified. As for the 33,000 sacrifices, there's no evidence of that. 120 people, that's all we got. As for the missing children, that's an urban legend. Locals think it was a story.
Yeah, just remember, this is one story. This is one urban legend. This is not everything. This is not the whole entire evidence of for giants. This is just one story of it. This might have been rubbish, but you know, there was certainly giants.
Story parents told their children to keep them out of the hypogeum. In fact, in the catacombs under St. Paul's Basilica in Rabat, Malta, there's a wall painting that tells a story of a group of children disappearing in the caves underground as a warning. Now, Lois Jessup's story is interesting. She was a real person, and she really did write that story. I quoted some of it, but it's probably just a story. The types of rooms she describes don't exist in the lower levels of the hypogeum. Now, sure, she might have stumbled into a secret level known only to giants, but you can't get much lower before you're underwater. The curators of the hypogeum said that if she was in a flooded chamber with a candle, reflections might have disoriented her. Now, that could be true, but the fact that her story includes the missing children is what debunks it. If a whole group of children went missing in the 20th century, there'd be reports of it, and there aren't. And in 1940, National Geographic magazine wasn't as mainstream as it is today.
Like the National Geographic tells the truth. So much crap in that. And look at the map at the top of the screen in the National Geographic. Looks a little flat to me. Yeah, it looks a little flat to me.
It's
like the EU flag.
When I was younger, I wanted to go to this. I wanted to go look at the basement level of the Smithsonian and see what they got underneath there.
Oh,
because there were rumors that they were taking all the artifacts that they find in America and they were locking them up so you couldn't tell the real history of everything else. They cover a lot of stuff up, dude.
Yeah, that's it. I've got to say, I've been on 2 hours. I've got to say this video is nearly finished. If you want, I'll put on another little video and we could talk about it, unless you have to go or anything. I could easily finish just after 2 hours, but I don't think. Sorry?
I'm gonna go to bed in the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, cool. But I mean, if anybody else wants to say, in that, I'll put on another video. Not a long one, but I'll put on another video. See what I've got. If you guys want to stay, if you've got to go, sound. But I'll stay for another half an hour or so. See what we've got. But yeah, this one's about to finish soon anyway, so I'll get on with this one. Get the conclusion done.
All right.
Today, it often included stories of the fantastic and the bizarre.
I wish they'd go back.
I kind of thought you'd need to go to bed anyway, because you was probably on sobs and everything, weren't you?
Yeah, I was over there for a while now.
Yeah. I thought you would have been.
And I watched Nathan. Yeah, I watched Nathan for an hour.
Oh, Nathan. Yeah. Okay.
I'm a member over there. For some reason, they sent me the long ass 4-hour videos.
Nathan
Oakley.
All right, cool. Nathan Oakley, yeah. I don't go into Nathan's as much as I used to, but yeah, I still go and pop over now and again. But I was going to say something then. Forgot. What was it? I do that a lot. If I don't think about it, it might come back.
Me too.
Oh yeah, the sob thing. Yeah, no, I'd love to go on sobs a lot more often. I've only ever been in this panel once, but that's when I was awake all night. Usually, I'm just waking up as sobs finishing, or sometimes I wake up halfway through. That's if I get sleep. But the times I usually don't get sleep, sobs not on. It usually kind of works like that way. But yeah, I'd love to catch sob again live sometime. I might try at the weekend. He doesn't usually do weekends, but like his last one at the end of the week, he's probably done it. He's probably done his last one for now. But yeah, I'll try and catch his next live. No, he did say he was doing something for the weekend, didn't he?
I think he might be.
He was having Pastor Duffy over, wasn't he? He said he was having Pastor Duffy over. So he was going. Right, I said I set my alarm for that one. Yeah, definitely.
That's interesting.
that one. I'll be going to that. I'll set my alarm. Definitely. Right, let's get this one finished.
Now, the elongated skulls are a bit of a conundrum. Sir Temi Zamet was actually trained in theology and craniology. He documented the skulls as being of the long-headed type, and that's about all he said. The skulls were hidden from the public for years, which only fueled speculation. But they were finally put on display just a couple of years ago. They are long-headed, but at least one of them appears to have been artificially lengthened by binding, like many cultures do. But not all the skulls. Now, the skeptics will say the elongation is genetic.
Yeah, alien genetics.
Or were the skulls elongated as a way of worshiping a prehistoric god who is actually an alien?
Ancient
Gematria said, Neil's verbal ejaculations keep me from enjoying a feed. I get you, man.
That's part of the humor, man.
I get on with Neil now. Yeah. I get on with Neil now and again. We kind of did have a little, not a fallout, but because of the the Paula thing. Wow. Why did I say Barbara? Wow. The Paula thing. It's because Barbara was in the chat. Because of the Paula thing, yeah, we kind of, he's more fell out with us. I haven't fell out with him. He's back talking to Michael now. I don't know if he's talking to me, but I'll talk to Neil, no problem. But I get what you're on about Gematria. But he can't be funny. He can't be funny.
Yeah. Michael's still a patron.
He sounds like a wise guy, doesn't he? He sounds like a typical wise guy from a Goodfellas type movie.
Michael still supports Nathan, right? He's still a Patreon.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, of course. I don't think Michael's on as much as he used to be, but yeah, he still supports him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nathan comes out with decent information, without a doubt. He knows what he's talking about, but I just sometimes I just don't like how he talks. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be able to change him. I like his information. I don't dislike the dude. I don't like how he talks sometimes. That's it. I mean, I don't like how he talks to people. But, that's him. Is it part of a character? I don't know. Is it because he's pissed off with trolls and stuff like that and the bullshit? Maybe. But it's not me. That's not how I talk to people. But
it's probably a lot to do with his upbringing too, right? He was raised kind of posh, right?
Yeah. Well, he's from about 12 miles from here, from where I'm living. He's from about 12 miles from here. He's from this part of England. But yeah, I get on with him all right. He pops in here now and again. If he catches me, if I'm on, say, 6 a.m. or something, he sometimes pops in. Like I said, I don't like how he talks, but I don't dislike him at all. I mean, I think
I get on better with Brian and Adam more so
Brian
than
Logic.
Nathan.
Yeah. Adam's ace. I love Adam. I think he's brilliant. Yeah, man, I like Adam. I like it when he pops over at Flats, isn't that? But yeah, because Adam was always on Brandon's. That's the fast live show. Well, when it was Ranty's, Brandon's used to be Ranty's, and then Ranty turned into Globe and that. But he sold his show before he turned it. He sold his channel before he turned into Glober. But he's not a Glober. He knows the ass flat. He just took the pay off. But yeah.
He's got a story now. He's an ex-flat earther, dude.
Yeah, Ranty, he says that, but he's not. You should see, if you've never seen Ranty's on Observations, go to Brandon's channel and watch it, because it used to be Ranty's. So yeah, his observations are solid. Sleeping Warrior did his first observation with him, and he was guaranteed, he was so convinced it was a flat earth because of the observations. Couldn't be anything else. Yeah, he wasn't making any money on YouTube. He was skint. He took the payoff. He knows it's flat. Ranty knows it's flat, and I'm convinced of that. You can't have Ranty's observations and not know it's flat. You can't. This Blackpool thing that convinced him it was a globe, he debunked pictures like that so often. So why believe that one when you've seen 100 of them already, Ranty? That's why he's not about anymore. Because he's got the cognitus again. He knows it's flat, but he's pretending to be a glober. He can't show his face, can he? I just wish he would. Bite the bullet. Do you know what I mean? Just humble yourself and come back. You know what I mean? As a flat earther. And just say it was crap. It was crap what you said. You know what I mean? You were lying. Simple as that. He doesn't believe it's a globe. No way. Anyway, enough of my speculations.
Astronaut theorists say yes.
Maybe. They're still being studied. Now, I didn't know much about the mysteries of Malta before researching this episode.
Sorry, dude, I'm talking away to you. I'm talking away to you, and you must have been out.
Yeah, I got kicked out.
Talking about
I was. Yeah,
Did
wasn't
you,
Ranty
did you
at
hear
Blackpool? Yeah, I heard you. Was Ranty
Yeah,
at Blackpool?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, the Blackpool. Yeah, the Blackpool observation. That's what convinced them when he debunked so many types of them. Why would that one convince them? He debunked so many of them. Yeah, he's still a flat earther. He's still a flat earther. He's got the cog disc because he's pretending not to be, and he doesn't. He hasn't been on for a while. But yeah.
They Eddie Banjo put out a nice little short with Angel. You remember Angel, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Of course.
Yeah, he had Ruhef over a barrel, dude.
Angel did. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
What,
with,
on TikTok?
With eclipses. Yeah. It was funny.
On TikTok. Nice.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Ruhef went on TikTok, but that's good, man. We'll have to have a look at that one sometime. I'm sure. Is it on TikTok? Is it? I'll have to go Angel's TikTok. So I've got him on TikTok. So
yeah, I don't have him on TikTok though. I
don't watch TikTok though. I don't like TikTok. I go to it for my little testimonies and stuff for my videos, but I won't hang about in TikTok. No, lives and stuff, definitely not. TikTok's so
it's
terrible.
It's quick, dude.
Terrible
it's
life.
Fast. Yeah, but
yeah,
they were doing full debates on there at one point in time. Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow. I'm glad the Angels got it under control there, though. It's brilliant. You know what I mean? Somebody had to take the app. You know what I mean? But apparently it's full of flat earthers now. TikTok.
Yeah.
But, I don't like the influencers and all that on TikTok. They're all idiots. Like this trans person, Alphabet, and I don't know if you've heard of them, Chelsea Liart and people like that. These are British ones. Because the beggars, the ones that ask for the gifts and they talk crap, man, and just they do some stupid, horrible stuff. You know what I mean? It's crap. But,
it's like watching a train wreck, ain't it? Yeah.
It is. I call it brain rot. But I go there for testimonies and that because them stories are good and they're quite short because they have to be 10-minute videos. You can't get over 10-minute videos. Do you know what I mean? Right.
Somebody smells burning. It's Juno. I smell burning.
It's probably my tongue.
And stories about giants, I do those because people like them, not because I believe
them. You should.
But the Temple of Amnidra really threw me off. The sun really would line up with the structure perfectly at the end of the Younger Dryas over 12,000 years ago. Now, I don't know how many times the Younger Dryas and the Great Flood have come up on this channel, but we're 3 years in, and they've come up a lot. When I first started the Y-Files, I believed almost none of these stories.
Well, if it keeps coming up, what does it not tell you something? You know what I mean? These things
must be something to it.
It keeps coming up.
Yeah.
You know? Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
And most of them are still bunk. They're fun, but they're bunk. But there have been a few episodes that, after researching, made me a little bit of a believer. Not a full believer, but much more open-minded. I don't know, maybe I've been doing this too long and the tinfoil is seeping into my brain.
You get used to it.
I was once a complete non-believer, but now after years of research, I believe the moon might be hollow. Crop circles are real, and I'm starting to believe that maybe, at one point very long ago, great megalithic structures were built by a race of giants. But if that's true, where's the evidence? Well, there wouldn't be any, because when the Great Flood came, the giants boarded their chariots, took to the sky, and went back home.
Taking the piss.
Jesus. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Thank you so much for hanging out today. My name is AJ. That's Fish.
So he's actually got 6 minutes of bloody credits and stuff.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot, dude. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to sit through that.
That one can go now.
Super Side Wonders in.
Yeah,
He said, hi, PJ. Biggie.
Hi, Super Side. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I I tried to finish my show the other night with your with that last song with your Mrs. playing the guitar and that on is the guitar gently weeps. I think that's what it was called. That song. And my blimmin' I was ending the show with it, and my computer crashed. I did come back on afterwards, but it crashed kind of halfway through the song. It was like, oh goodness, pain. But next time I do a live at night time, I'll do that song again to end my show because it's brilliant, man. It's brilliant, and I don't get and I don't get a copyright thing for it. You know what I mean? So it's all good. But yeah, let's yeah, nice one for sitting with me through that, dude. Let's see what else I've got on the bottom. Wait, right, let's get rid of this one. So, you know, I should get rid of these videos once I've watched them, but I don't. I should. Dude, that was that one. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. That's the George Orwell one. Get rid of that's that one. Get rid of that. Do you know, I'll look for a video. I'll do this later. What's that Logan Paul one? Oh, that's an 18-minute one. Let's have a look at this. Logan Paul needed to hear this, but he didn't. So here it goes. What's his name again?
I wanted to put one in the chat. What did he put in there?
All right, we put up a new mix last night. It's an original. It's cool. Do you know something? I'll probably have a look at that, and then on my next Tuesday live at night time, I'll use that to end the show. That'll be brilliant, man. Cool. I'll have a look at that, dude. Nice one, dude. Excellent. Actually, let's share it now. Let's do it now.
Yeah,
is that okay? Do you mind me sharing? Should we do it now? Yeah. Just have a look at it. So yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. For now, then I'll look at the next video. Is this it? Hold on. Come on. Yeah, it is. Okay. Cool. Let's have a look at this. Right, share this tab instead. Oh, hold on. I need to come out of that first. I need to get back into StreamYard. See if it's all sharing. Oh, good. Right, that one and play.
Lonely at the top. You know I don't believe in the globe no more. I don't keep track, I just know the score. I don't talk trash till I'm sure. I write these raps when I'm totally bored. I'm the guy everyone tries to ignore. Style so fresh you try and buy at the store. We can bring them boats back from high on the shore. My flow's so hot that I'm frying the board. So much money you try to afford. Debunking the globe is a sport. I'm blasphemous. Rapping, I'm a naturalist. Scratch at this, pass that tiff, light a split. I don't care how high we is. I'm fighting this, rhyming fast as lightning is. I'm a titan. I go back with my giant fist. I'm rapping natural. I will pop you like an aspirin capsule. You, everybody's laughing at you. Yeah. As I sit and bitch, press the test of time. None of y'all cowards can touch my rhyme. You can't stuff my shine. You motherfuckers don't know. I am loco. Say I won't go to your house for show. Knocking down the door. Stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. Since the solar eclipse hit is making predictions. You pass him that shit, kid. He's taking like 6 hits. I just seen you pull that mask down to take a sip of your drink. Breathing backwards. It's like trying to take a shit in the sink. What are the kids gonna think? Growing up in a world where individuality isn't a thing. No, I don't believe in the globe no more. I don't keep track, I just know the score. I write these raps when I'm totally bored. I'm the guy everybody tries to ignore. My style's so fresh you try and buy at the store. We can bring the boats back from high in the shore. I'm worth so much money you could try to afford. Debunking the globe is a sport.
Love it.
Not bad. What's
I
her
like
name
it a
again?
lot. It's Mr. Super Sidewinder's channel.
That's him?
What do you mean? The
Did he
name
make
of
that himself?
the song?
The group. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Mr. Super. Yeah, yeah. Him and his missus do music, don't they? It's brilliant, man.
I didn't know.
I
gotta check it out.
Love it. Yeah. Are you subscribed to him?
No, I haven't. I'll go by and look at it.
You haven't? Yeah. Put your yeah. Cool. Well, he's got his link. He's got the link in the chat anyway for this video, so you can sub
I
through
got
that
it.
way. Yeah, man.
I'll save it.
It's cool, man. I like this. Cool. No, he said no more. He must have had it a million times.
I stepped to him. There you go.
Oh, cool. There you go. You got a sub there from Roger, Mr. Super Sidewinder. Cool. He said, "Look, that's Boston Ray and him.
Ray.
He's the rapper." Right. Got ya. That's cool, man. Nice one for that, dude. Ha! That's so cool. Right. Let's see what we got in the watch. Oh yeah, I was going to do this one, Logan Paul one, wasn't I? Let's get lit.
You like the Logan Paul kid? Huh?
Lead up. I can't remember the name. Ray Comfort. Ray Comfort's his name. All right, hold on. That didn't give me the video. That just gave me his channel. Hold on a minute. Is that right? What happened there? Yeah, that's better. He gave me his channel that time. He didn't give me the video. I like some of what Ray Comfort does. He denies Mandela effect and that, like, but I like what he does. I like some of what he does. Definitely, I like how he talks to people.
There's a lot of
maybe don't
across the board with the Mandela thing. I can see how the media and the press actually are fooling people, leaving Easter eggs like that, and they're messing with you, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But that, I do believe that there's scripture been changed and stuff like that. But yeah, I do believe in the media. They're doing stuff intentionally because of it. But yeah, I still think it's happening. But I like some of what Ray Comfort does. I like a lot what he does. I don't agree with him in some areas. Do you know what I mean? But he's good. I like how he talks to people. I think he's pretty cool. Oh, there's Boston Ray's channel. Let me see if I'm subbed to Boston Ray. I think I might be. I'll quickly check that first. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I've got so many. Oh no, I'm not. Let me sub to him.
I'm gonna check it out.
Oh wow, hold on. That. Oh. There you go, guys. There's Boston Ray's channel if you want to sub to him.
He's a mud flutter, huh? The Mud Flutter Adventures with Boston Ray.
Oh, cool. Nice. I'll have to have a look at that, definitely. I'll have to have a look at that because I haven't looked too much into that. A little bit, but not deep, not an in-depth. Yeah.
There's a community there. It's pretty big, actually.
Why isn't
it? There's a lot of people that do that. You ever look at Michelle Gibson?
Michelle Gibson, no, I haven't even heard of it. Oh, okay.
She goes she does ley lines and stuff like that. She goes through actual history books and follows each one of the native tribes throughout the world. And she wasn't a flat earther, but now she is. The more she looks into it, the more the history that they teach in schools, the mainstream stuff, she finds it's mostly crap, dude. Yeah. So yeah, she jumped on board with us. Yeah. She's got a nice.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'll watch out for that. I've no idea, guys, what this is about.
True, Mr. Wombat.
I just know the Bacon was pretty good. Yeah. So, have you seen this one? Did you say? No.
No, I haven't.
All right, cool. I thought you were just saying you seen it. No. Yeah, dude. I know you said you got to go anytime, so if you drop out, I'll know you've gone. So, no worries. But yeah, I have no idea what it's completely about. I don't know the details. I just thought I saved it because why not? Just go nip to the toilet, guys.
Subscribers to his YouTube channel. Cliff and Stuart Connectley are father and son who for years have defended the faith in prestigious universities throughout the
480. Should be okay on 480. Shouldn't survive the
United States. Both were recent guests on Logan Paul, where they brilliantly answered as many questions about Christianity.
Is there a chance that Jesus did exist, but he was a genius, a marketer, an orator, a storyteller, maybe even a little crazy? So much so that people really believed what he did. He even believed what he did when he was the son of God. You mentioned earlier, some schizophrenics will say, I'm Jesus. I'll be honest here. I don't love the sort of like exclusive club feeling. Oh, you can get into heaven if you believe in Jesus, but everyone else is doomed.
So Jesus Christ was the only one who pulled off this magic trick and converted over half of the known world at that time.
Fair. And this is based on eyewitness testimony primarily.
Yeah.
You believe in aliens? Why?
I have no idea.
Why?
Well, there's no strong evidence or proof.
There's eyewitness testimony. I really believe in women being able to make choices with their own body. And I don't think a panel of men should have any say in that.
Right.
At the end of the day, yeah, absolutely. I will always side with a woman who wants to do what she wants to do with her body. Based on your scripture, you're still unwilling to be okay with that decision of killing.
I wouldn't be okay with it at all. No. Not one little bit. Not one little bit.
Nothing natural about that at all.
An unborn child.
After 2 hours of amazing
nothing at all, dude. Nothing at all. Right, I'm just going to nip to the toilet.
Apologetics, that is, arguments in defense of the gospel from these two godly men, Logan Paul said this.
I guess what I am looking for, what I have always struggled with, is like the proof per se. Like I haven't really had like a come to Jesus moment.
Why was he not convinced of the truth of the gospel? Let me give you my 2 cents. Let's begin by looking at Romans 8, verse 7. The carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, nor indeed can be. Scripture saying the carnal mind of man is in a state of continual hostility towards God. The focal point of that hostility is at the moral law, the 10 Commandments. Sinful man doesn't like God telling him what to do morally. So if I stay with the carnal mind, no answer to any question will satisfy him. What I must do is what Jesus did with the rich young ruler. Rich young ruler ran to Jesus, knelt down and said, Good master, what must I do to inherit eternal life? Jesus said, Why do you call me good? And then he gave him 5 of the 10 Commandments. Why did he do that? To bring the knowledge of sin. That's the purpose of God's law. It shows us what sin is. And what the commandments do is engage with the conscience, the work of the law written on the heart, the conscience bearing witness. Or think of Paul in Romans chapter 2. You who say you shall not steal, do you steal? You who say you shall not commit adultery, do you commit adultery? He was bringing the knowledge of sin using the moral law of God, speaking directly to the conscience.
Absolutely.
This is what Paul did.
Absolutely. We're all adulterers, man.
Yeah.
I like how he does that. He actually gets the literal Bible out and films the words on films the words on the Bible. I do that sometimes, like instead of just bringing a website up, like if I'm looking at scripture, just actually film it sometime. That cause it just puts a different edge on it. Maybe your background or something. Yeah, it's more authentic.
Stuck Michelle Gibson's link in the chat.
Oh, nice. Let's have a look.
He knows Michelle.
Nice. Cool.
She's pretty good. I like her stuff.
74,000 subscribers. Cool. Let's subscribe now then. Let's subscribe.
She's not big.
And there you go. She's quite big. 74,000 subs is fair amount. Quite new. She's got 328. Yeah, it's a fair amount. Well, she won't long before she's on 100,000.
Well,
fair play.
Her content's not popular like this stuff, or the other stuff you were watching earlier. That's
right.
Stuff.
No, of course. Of course, it looks quite professional. Nice thumbnails.
She does thorough research, man.
Cool. Looks good, man. Ancient and advanced civilization on the trail of giants in Appalachia and beyond. Cool. Yeah, might even do one of these one day. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Excellent. Subbed. Nice one.
With Felix. Paul, when he reasoned with Felix, didn't talk about the love of God. He reasoned with him of righteousness, temperance, and judgment to come, and Felix trembled. And that's what's missing in today's converts, because we stay in the realm of the intellect and don't address the conscience. Listen to Romans 3, verses 19 and 20. Now we know that whatever the law says, it says to those who are under the law that every mouth may be stopped and all the world may become guilty before God. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, no flesh will be justified in his sight, for by the law is the knowledge of sin. Listen to Charles Spurgeon, the Prince of Preachers. I do not believe that any man can preach the gospel who does not preach the law. When sin isn't thoroughly addressed, then the cross doesn't become the focal point of our message. Apologetics do. Spurgeon continued, lower the law and you dim the light by which man perceives his guilt. This is a very serious loss to the sinner rather than a gain, for it lessens the likelihood of his conviction and conversion.
Yeah.
So how would I share the gospel with Logan Paul? Here's the opening.
I just try to be a good person.
I would then open up the law to bring the knowledge of sin as Jesus.
Not one of us are good. Not one person is a good person. Just Jesus. He was a good person. Is a good person. But also God. Not one of us are good. We're not born with a good heart. We're born into sin. When you're born again, God, Jesus then works on your heart. Absolutely.
I thought it was kind of strange that they referred to Christ like a magician. Like he did a magic trick. Yeah, that was just messed up.
A lot of people have got these little, like Arwen has no problem with Jesus doing miracles, but he's not God. He's fine with Jesus being able to do a miracle because Arwen believes in like wizards and all that crap, but Jesus is not a wizard. Jesus is God.
Huh? I don't get
sorry, dude. Mr. Super Side Rose, thank you, PJ, by the way. Gabrielle is not my wife. I mix with many musicians worldwide. Sorry, dude, I didn't realize. Sorry, I just presumed. This was suppose we do that a lot, don't we? You think, you know what I mean? You can't be friends with a woman, you think it's the wife and all that. I know. Sorry, dude. I just assumed. But yeah, man, no harm. Bless you, man.
Jesus did in the Sermon on the Mount. Do that and watch his questions suddenly become unimportant to him. Questions about who built a house become unimportant when a man realizes he's in a house that's on fire, and if he doesn't get out immediately, he's going to be burned alive. And if you and I stay in the realm of apologetics, sinners won't see their danger. And if they don't see their danger, they'll not see their need of the Savior. The Bible says the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing. But it's only foolishness in the same way a cure is foolishness counts as
one of my
foolishness.
favorite scriptures. One of my favorites like that. My first favorite is be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication and with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. That's Philippians 4:6. That's my favorite. This one is one of my next favorites. You know what I mean? Not next to each other, I suppose, but I've got a lot of scriptures I like, obviously, but this is one that I say quite a lot to people. You know what I mean? Because it's absolutely true. And also it shows that you're not automatically, I mean, yes, we're saved, but it says, but those of us who are being saved, to me, it seems like by saying that it's a process. It's the only kind of scripture that says that being saved. You know, not saying you are saved. I know we're saved, but it just shows that being saved is a process. There's a process to it. It doesn't just happen like that. Your conversion is not just like, yeah, I'm perfect. You know what I mean?
Well, basically, the law of God is written on your heart.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely, bro. Yeah. And for those who are perishing, it is foolishness because they think, wow, how can a guy be a god, and how can a guy take all the sin of the world away from you and forgive you? It's not up to him to forgive you. It's up to whoever you did it to, and all that kind of stuff. You know, they just don't think we're supernatural mind. That's why it's foolishness to them. You know what I mean? But then for those of us that are being saved, which just means, yes, I know you're automatically saved, but there's a process to it. Your heart's being worked on. Do you know what I mean? You're being renewed. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. You know what I mean? How do you do that? Think of things that are virtuous. Do you know what I mean? Like what does it say? Things that are good, things that are I can't remember the scripture exactly how it goes. Things that
things that
are good, lovely, that are all that kind of stuff. I can't remember the exact full scripture, but things that are good, things that are lovely, things that are kind, that kind of stuff. Think about them type of things. That's how you be transformed by the renewal of the mind. Think of like
I remember this one though,
the
for
fruit,
sure.
so to speak. Yeah.
Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Yeah.
Aye, absolutely.
Yeah.
James tells you about the tongue. It's got the power to build you up or whip you down. It's through language we do that, and that's through tongue. The tongue. Tongue's a terrible thing, or a good thing.
Yeah.
Those who are perishing, but it's only foolishness. In the same way, a cure is foolishness to someone who's offered a cure who thinks he's healthy and well. It's the moral law, the 10 Commandments, that show us that we're morally sick. Apologetics can't do that. Just so you know, we produced an entire Bible filled with apologetics called the Evidence Study Bible. And I use apologetics.
It's the super side mind. It's all supernatural here. Yeah, man. Yeah. Actually, thinking about supernatural. Yeah, well, sorry, not supernatural. Thinking about supernatural, but then going on to paranormal. I don't believe in paranormal and all that. Obviously, I think if you see ghosts, it's demons or whatever. But I mean, Michael was thinking about doing shows on that, on his channel, I think, to do with ghosts. You know, what I mean, the paranormal, and having a look at the people on YouTube that do that, and you know what I mean, just either being critical of it or supporting in some ways, or just having a look at it, like what we do with normal things, what we do with every video, just chatting about it and how crap it is.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Whether we do or not, I'll have to have a word with him. But we did speak about it, but he's just back from working a lot, so I'll leave him for a bit before get into it. But yeah, I'll have a word with him about it, see what he wants to do about it, because it'd be cool to do it on his channel.
In every witnessing encounter, but they are merely the bait when we fish for men. The hook is the law. If we only fish with the bait, the fish may nibble, but will never pull them in. Listen to Jonathan Edwards. The only way we can know whether we are sinning is by knowing his moral law. And that's what the Apostle Paul said. I would not have known sin except through the law. John Wesley said, it is the ordinary method of the Spirit of God to convict sinners by the law. George Whitefield said to his hearers, You must be made to see, made to feel, made to weep over, made to bewail your actual transgressions against the law of God. J.I. Packer said, unless we see our shortcomings in the light of the law and holiness of God, we do not see them as sin at all. John Bunyan warned, the man who does not know the nature of the law cannot know the nature of sin. Without the law to convict sinners, just like Logan Paul, they'll continue to justify themselves. D.L. Moody said, I can always tell a man who is near the kingdom of God, his mouth is stopped. This then is why God gives us the law, to show us ourselves in our true colors. And what I'm saying is good news for you and I. It means we don't have to be intellectual giants with brilliant answers to every question. We just have to do what Jesus did.
No one is ever going to be able to bring to you this bulletproof proof that God exists.
That's just not true. In a few minutes, you'll see me give bulletproof evidence for the existence of God to a scientist who's also an atheist. But all the apology...
He does, and I like the way he does these things. He's good at it. He's good at what he does. I like how he talks. He's not disrespectful, anything like that. But he's straight to the point and he tells the truth. And within his convictions.
You know, the fool says in his heart, right?
She's in danger. She needs to hear the law. So watch.
Yeah. Fool says in his heart, yeah. A lot of things. He says there is no God. You know what I mean? Which one were you on about? That one.
Yeah, that one. That's the one.
A fool. Oh, right, that one. A fool says in his heart that he's wise as well when he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Absolutely, bro. Oh, wrong one.
For the deliberate swing from that contentious carnal mind to the God-given concept.
No, of course not.
You're a scientist?
Yes.
Of course not.
Do you believe in God?
I do not. I'm an atheist.
As an atheist, do you really believe the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything? I'm not saying there was nothing in the beginning. An atheist believes that nothing was the force that gave us flowers and birds and trees and puppies and kittens and seasons and fruits and male and female. The marvels of the human eye, the miracle of childbirth, all that was given to us by nothing. And nothing can't create anything because it's nothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you hold the rail when you go downstairs?
No, not at all.
Why not?
That's exactly what it is. It's nothing. Nothing can't create nothing. Nothing can't create something. You know what I mean? You can't have something out of nothing. That's why there's got to be a creator. Nothing can't create something. Something had to be there first. And God has always been. You can't say who created God. It's a stupid question. You know what I mean? Big Bang shows. Yeah, exactly. The Big Bang. It takes more faith to believe in the bloody Big Bang and evolution than it does to believe in God, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those people aren't really living, dude. Those people are just existing. That's what they're doing.
Exactly right. Exactly right, dude. Imagine thinking there's nothing after death. I mean, I'm still scared of dying. You know what I mean? But imagine thinking there's absolutely nothing after it. That'd be awful. That'd be awful. I mean, it might be comforting to some people, not to me. It's not comforting to me that there is a hell. You know what I mean? And there's a possibility I could go there. Hopefully not. You know what I mean? But there has to be punishment for people that don't turn to the Lord. You know what I mean? There's got to be. It's got. You can't have. You know what I mean? A father disciplines his kids, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? So hopefully through his discipline, you'll be able to turn away from going to hell. You know what I mean? It really. Some people think it's a good idea. It's like, yeah, let's go and have a party there. Do you really think you've got to have a party? It's blooming heck. The devil hates you. Why would he let you party? He'll let you party up here to fool you. You know what I mean? But when you're with him, it's not going to be a nice ride. And it's forever. Oh, it's awful thinking about that. Wow. Yeah, let's not.
I trust myself to keep my balance going down.
Do you know how many people die falling down stairs in the US each year? 12,000. They all don't hold the rail because they think they can handle it themselves. Do you know God's got another law that's very harsh called the law of sin and death? Have you ever heard of that? Yeah, it says the soul that sins, it shall die.
I believe in God, Jesus Christ, so I believe.
Have you been born again?
I have not been born again. You know, I'm still building my relationship with God, so.
Well, Jesus said in John chapter 3, you must be born again to enter heaven. So we better make sure you're born again.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
You going to heaven?
I hope. I got a good heart.
How many lies have you told in your life? Do you think you're a good person?
100%.
We don't understand the like where it came before the Big Bang, but that doesn't mean there wasn't something there. Maybe there was always something.
Do you ever read the Bible?
I grew up in a parochial school. Because I read the Bible is why I became an atheist. There's a lot of contradictions in the Bible that made me feel like perhaps there's some.
If you see contradictions in the Bible, then you're definitely not working with the Holy Spirit. There is no contradictions. Oh, I could see that Roger's not here. Sorry, I looked on the YouTube screen. I looked at the YouTube screen and I seen I was on my own. I was like, oh, Roger must have been out for a little while.
I want to see what this girl's got to say about this. Yeah. She said there had to be something to begin with, but it came from nothing. I don't know.
You can see the. Wow. Exactly. Wow. I mean, I can see if he come in her glasses.
She looks mad, dude.
Something else.
Can you give me one contradiction?
You know, the Bible,
the
New Testament was all about love, and yet the Genesis was all about hate and destruction and vengeance. And
that's a very common fallacy. It's just not true. God is justice.
It's full of love, and that's why there's justice there for the sin of man, for the fall of man. You know what I mean? It's full of hate. It's because of man. It's that way.
Creation had to be a hard book because the creation wasn't easy to make, dude. None of this stuff was.
Of course.
Look at it.
Of course.
It's
only ever been done once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are.
It's only ever been done once and only ever going to be done once. That's it. It's done. This is it. There's nothing else. You're not escaping it. You're not going through the vastness of space to get elsewhere and think you have a mortal life elsewhere.
On Mars?
Angry at sin in the New Testament as he is in the Old.
Yeah. Yeah, let's try Mars first. Because we can't go to no moon bases.
We got to grow potatoes when we get there.
Oh, I good that is all the way.
Old Testament, he hasn't changed. Jesus spoke more of hell than he did of heaven.
He did?
Read the book of Jude or the book of Hebrews or the book of Peter or the book of Revelation. It's so frightening, it'll make the hair on your neck stand on end. Do you respect Jesus?
he definitely existed, I believe that. I think the archaeological record.
I'm telling you, hell scares the crap out of me. Where it says there'll be weeping, wailing, gnashing of teeth, that's enough. That's enough. Let alone the separation from God, pure despair for eternity. Oh, it's not worth thinking about. Think about how you've been in despair just here on the earth at certain times, at your lowest times. It's nothing. It's got to be amplified 1 billion times. That's nothing compared to forever. Wow.
Forever's a long time.
So, but was he the Son of God? Maybe that's
very long time. Very long time.
The Bible says so.
Laurie, do you think you're a good person morally?
Absolutely.
How many lies have you told in your life?
I have no idea.
Quite a few?
When I was young.
So what do you call someone who tells lies?
A liar.
So what are you?
A liar like everyone. Yeah. It's human nature.
You ever stolen something in your whole life, irrespective of its value?
When I was a child, I stole candy from a 7-Eleven. Absolutely.
You started young. What do you call someone who steals?
A thief.
So what are you?
I was a thief, yes.
A lying thief.
Absolutely.
Have you ever used God's name in vain?
All the time.
Do you love your mum?
I do.
Would you ever use her name as a cuss word?
Never.
Why not?
Because she's my mother.
You respect her.
I respect her.
But you don't respect the God that gave you a mother. You have taken his holy name and used it in place of a filth word to express disgust.
I mean, that's your opinion. There's a God. I don't believe there's a God. And until you can prove that to me, there's no God.
I can prove God's existence to you, and I'll do it in about 1 minute. And I appreciate your honesty. I know this is painful, but it's worth it.
It was eye-opening.
You had sex before marriage.
Yes.
I just care about you. That's why I'm asking these hard questions.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Okay. Let me prove God's existence and we'll come back. When you look at a building, you know there was a builder because the building exists. The building is absolute scientific proof.
That's right. Everything that is made here on Earth that we do, we design it, then build it. It didn't just appear. You don't just throw a grenade into a junkyard and a Mercedes Benz or a Rolls lands on the road in front of you. That doesn't happen. You know what I mean? There's a designer, it's designed, and then it's made, it's built, it's created.
Have you heard Nathan's analogy?
It
with
doesn't just come
like
from.
he gives a good story.
Yeah.
Like there's these atheists that want to create their own world. Yeah, and they go out and get all the elements and everything to make their own world, and like God looks at them like, "Hey, you got to make your own."
Yeah. Heliocentrism and evolution and Big Bang is the ultimate gaslight. The ultimate gaslighting. Wow.
Builder.
We can meet him and shake his hand.
You don't even have to. He could have died 50 years ago, but you still know there was a builder because the building is there. Buildings don't build themselves. When you look at a painting, you know there was a painter, even if the painter died 500 years ago. You know there was a painter because paintings don't paint themselves. And creation or nature shows us there's a creator. All these things we see around us show the genius of God's creative hand. Where did conscience come from?
Evolution.
Well, why did evolution give us this little voice
That's funny.
that agrees with the 10 Commandments? You shall not kill.
Why?
You shall not steal.
Why would you think evolution would give you a conscience? Why? Where does all this information come from? From nothingness. That's so stupid, man. So stupid. Hey, Glenn Saul, it's good to see you. All motion requires a prime mover, and a prime mover requires a reason to move, and a resistance to be moved. In the natural world, that's God. Absolutely, dude. Without a doubt. Design created. No grenade, no throw into junkyard, no Mercedes Benz.
Shall not lie, you shall not commit adultery. It's all written on our conscience. The word conscience means with knowledge. So every time we do those things that are morally wrong, we do it with knowledge that it's wrong. So back to those commandments. Laurie, you've told me you're a liar, a blasphemer, an adulterer at heart, a self-righteous person. This is a sin in God's eyes. And saying you're a good person when you're not, you're like the rest of us.
Never lied.
Oh, I've broken all the commandments.
Okay, so we're in the same boat. I have one question for you.
Right, Barbara. Right. I didn't know you were real. Won't work on Judgment Day. It won't. Certainly won't. I ain't gonna cut it.
How come the religious always wants to make people believe in it? Can't you just go on your journey?
Laurie, I think you're in terrible danger, but you don't realize it. It's my conviction. So I'm motivated by love and concern for you, because if you're guilty on Judgment Day, you're going to end up in hell, and I don't want that to happen to you. That breaks my heart.
All my friends are going to be.
Well, there's no love in hell. Would you go to heaven or hell?
Purgatory.
There's no such place. It's not in the Bible. Definitely. Yikes is the word. The Bible says all liars live their part in the lake of fire. Miles, you don't realize this, but I love you. I don't want you to go to hell. I've just met you. But it breaks my heart.
That just shows. He said he loves him. He's just met him. How can you love someone you just met? By choice. By choice.
People say, how can you love someone you've just met? Well, if you see strangers...
Oh, wow. No way. That's so crazy.
Just getting into a car that's got faulty brakes, it's going downhill to a 1,000-foot cliff. Even though you don't know those people, you'll go up there and plead with them. Get out of the car because you love them.
Yeah.
You ever heard the Bible verse, the wages of sin is death? Ever heard that?
That's all. Yes. And that's one of the reasons I don't believe in the Bible. It's a terrible, vengeful. Why would I believe in God? He sounds like...
The wages of sin is death. Saying God is paying you in death for your sins. Like a judge who looks
that sounds like a thing to do.
And like a judge who looks at a criminal.
Hi, Glenn. I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Bless you. Nice one for asking.
Who's committed murder, but he keeps saying, I'm a good person, judge. The judge says, I'm going to show you how serious your crime is. I'm giving you the death sentence. This is your wages.
You did have a demonic smack, and you can't stay on the fence forever. Definitely not. Definitely not. You know what I mean? You've got to make a choice. I mean, yes, I dare say some people do get a chance just before they die, like the thief on the cross. But why take that chance? Why take that chance? You know what I mean? Get it in beforehand.
This is what you've earned. And Laurie's sin is
like a thief in the night. Do you know what I mean? That could be any time. That could be any time. Get it in.
so serious to a holy God, he's given you the death sentence. You're on death row, and your death will be evidence to you that God is deadly serious about sin.
I definitely believe that you believe that. I just don't.
Well, you're called an unbeliever. That's why I'm speaking to you. Now, back to your big question here. How could God be vengeful?
Yeah.
And you said he sounds like, and
It's very man-made emotion.
Do you believe in justice?
Absolutely.
And that's because you're created in God's image. You believe in justice and truth and righteousness.
According to your religion, that I know you believe that. I don't.
And to say God shouldn't believe in justice is saying he's wicked. It's like a judge who says he's a good judge, but he lets murderers go free. He's not a good judge. If he believes in justice, he'll bring them to judgment. What did God do for guilty sinners so we wouldn't have to go to hell?
Can you please tell me?
You actually know, but because you don't understand it, you don't value it. Have you heard of Jesus' diet? Now, you won't need his death on the cross if you think you're a good person. Santiago, if you can get a grip of this, it's going to change everything for you. The 10 Commandments are called the moral law. That's what happened on that cross. That's why he said, it is finished, just before he died. He was saying, paid in full. Laurie, if you're in court and you've got speeding fines, a judge will let you go if someone else pays your fine. If you say, I'm guilty, judge says, you can leave, someone's paid your fine, and it's legal. Well, God can legally take the death sentence off you because of what Jesus did on the cross through his death and resurrection. He paid our fine. That means God can legally grant you everlasting life as a free gift. He can take death off you because of that death and resurrection. And all you have to do to find everlasting life is repent of your sins, and you've got plenty like me, and then...
Hi, Barbara. The idea that you're going to be able to party with friends in hell is narcissism at its most ludicrous. Yeah. And shows that people have got hedonistic minds. You know what I mean? They're trying to take materialism and their pleasures with them of this world.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't you call that full atonement? Is what Christ did for humanity.
Yep, absolutely. He redeemed us. Yeah, yeah. Like they used to put the lamb used to atone for our sins, shedding of blood. Hence why Jesus is the lamb and shedding of his blood. God shedding his own blood for us. Don't find any other faith with that or cult with that God that does that, you know.
And trust in Jesus, not your goodness, like you trust a parachute. One last analogy. If you're going to jump out of a plane 10,000 feet, why would you put on a parachute?
Because I know the forces of aerodynamics.
The motivation for putting on the parachute is fear. And that fear is your friend, not your enemy, because it's still in your favor. It's making you put on a parachute. Because I care about you, I've tried to put the fear of God in you today, hoping you'll see that fear is your friend, not your enemy. Because
it isn't a fight. It's fear that keeps you alert and fear that gets you like out of our situation. You either win the fight, lose it, but you either fight or fight or flight. You run, you know what I mean, or you fight. You know what I mean? It's fear that it does either way. It's fear that does it. You know what I mean? It is your friend, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It'll make you serious.
Same as pain. It lets you know there's something wrong.
It's with the God that gave you life. Is this making sense?
Yes, sir. I love the perspective.
You're going to think about what we talked about?
Yes, sir.
The day is the day you should get right with God, because Satan will say to you, do it tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. And the thing that will hold you back is your love for sin. The pleasure you get from pornography, the things you know are morally wrong. So don't let it hold you back. Just say, God, today I yield myself to you. Because the Bible says, today if you hear his voice, don't harden your hearts. It says, now is the accepted time. So when do you think you get right with God?
As soon as I can.
Can I pray with you?
Yeah, let's pray.
Father, I thank you for Santiago. I pray that making sense.
Yes, sir.
So when are you going to repent and trust in Jesus?
Starting today, from here on out.
Can I pray with you?
Please.
Father, I pray for Sean. Thank you for this divine encounter that we met today. Is this making sense?
Crystal.
That dude with the sunglasses, he seemed like he meant it. He seemed he was a bit quivery. His lip was a bit quivery. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he did. He did. this guy looks like the guy from DC, Black Manta in the DC films.
Huh.
Clear. I'm definitely going to think about this. Definitely going to look into it more.
So when are you going to repent and put your faith in Jesus rather than in your own goodness?
Every single day.
From now on? Can I pray with you? Thank you, Lord, for Miles, and we bumped into each other today. I pray this day he'll remember his secret sins.
With me, that I need to be on the right path and need to be focused and need to get my heart.
I appreciate it. I really needed that.
Yeah. Are any of your family Christians?
All but me.
Well, no doubt they're praying for you.
Oh, but you. Well, is that just not this being the rebellious child? You know what I mean? Barbara said, if you don't believe in life after death, sorry, dude. Barbara said, if you don't believe in life after death, you're free to do whatever you want that pleases you without abandonment, maybe. And then you find out Jehovah and hell are real, and you're screwed. Absolutely, Barbara. Never true a word said. Sorry, Roger, you were saying something.
I'm saying she's a black sheep.
Aye, that's it. I mean, I know a bit of how that feels like, but I've never had a problem believing God. I've just never. I mean, in my early days, just never followed. Never had a problem believing.
Prodigal. You're listening today because of their prayers, and I'm so pleased that you listened. That's all I've asked. You've been very open and very able. I give you a government scientific facts in the Bible. It's a best-selling book, and it'll show you all the scientific facts in the Bible and show you the fingerprint of God all over His Word.
No, thank you. I appreciate it, though, and I appreciate...
No, you don't. You're not open. Come on, just be open. It's a very...
I am open.
You're very kind to take it, Laurie. Thank you so much. Can I give you a couple of In-N-Out cards for lunch today?
Sure.
Our success...
I mean, I hope she has a browse of it. I think she'll dump it, but that's the pessimistic side. Maybe she might flick it and see a word and think, hold on, let's have a quick read, hopefully. Or chuck it in the bin and it flops open. Chuck it in the trash and it flops open. See something. You know what I mean? It'd be cool. Hopefully, he's planting the seed. He's done what he's had to do. You know what I mean? Hey, Barry, how you doing, man? Just getting here, and I'm just finishing in about a couple of minutes. Got like a minute left. So, yeah, I've been on for 3 hours. So
yeah, I've just got here as well.
Nice one for you, dude. Oh, blooming hell! I didn't even see you, dude. Didn't even see you, man. I was in the other room. How you doing, dude? You good?
Not bad, mate. I've just got up having a right lie-in.
Oh, you've been working hard. I don't blame you. Yeah, just finishing up. We've been on since 9. I was meant to be on at 8, but I didn't even hear my own alarm. I was late. Yeah, I was I missed my alarm, so I was late. I was about an hour late, so I did it at 9 o'clock instead. So just finishing up now, dude. I was just telling them though that we might be on your channel if you still want to, doing some with paranormal, like ghost hunters and stuff. If you still want to do it on your channel.
When I'll have get it sorted out.
Like, I said. Yeah, I did say it wasn't like it's not been sorted or anything. I said you just got back from working and stuff, so I'll give you a bit of time in that. But yeah, I did say we were talking about it, so it'll be pretty cool. Because I've got like morning coffee and the Tuesday night thing going on. Do something on Michael's channel now and again to do with paranormal. Be brilliant, man. But yeah, I'm just ending up on this Ray Comfort and saying goodbye to everybody. Nice one for coming though, Michael.
Oh, it is.
No, I'm going to get some sleep, gentlemen.
Shouldn't be determined by whether or not the person became a believer. Remember, the rich young ruler walked away.
Okay, dude. Nice one, Roger.
I'll see you tomorrow sometime. You never know.
See you later, Roger.
Bless you, man. I'm just getting I've only got a minute left. See you, dude. Bless you.
Jesus. Our so-called success should be determined as to whether or not we imitated Christ as we've been told to. Were we faithful to present the gospel the way that Jesus did? Law to the proud and grace to the humble. That's my 2 cents. Living Waters exists as a non-profit ministry to help you grow in your faith. Here are 3 things to help you do just that. The Living Waters podcast, the Evidence Study Bible, everything you've ever wanted to know about the Christian faith, and the starter kit 4 of our most popular gospel tracks. These and much more are available at livingwaters.com. If you've not watched our video, Christian stumps Jehovah's Witness with one question, I think...
Yeah, man. That was cool. It wasn't really about Logan Paul, though, was it? It was just he was the little example at the start. But that Giants thing with that thing was pretty good. I knew his conclusion would be that there's not really Giants, so his conclusions are always a bit like that. But yeah, it was worth looking at. It was pretty good. Pretty good.
What was the conclusion with
Yeah,
that?
man. So, from the last video I did a video on Giants, thing, and it was just them. I can't even. It's WH was his initials. Let me just see. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. What was his blooming name again? I watch him every now and again. I'm not subscribed to him, but I see him every now and again. It's not somebody that we know through Flat Earth and stuff like that. He's more of a, got a lot more subscribers and stuff. You know what I mean? What was that again? I can't remember his blooming. Let me just get my watch list up. Right, watch later. It's in here. Yeah, man. It is. Oh, don't tell me I got rid of it afterwards. I did, didn't I? Yeah, I got rid of it afterwards because I said because my watch list was getting big, and I says every time I do a video, I don't get rid of the ones I've watched, and I start getting rid of them, so I got rid of it. Well, you see, if you have a look at the start, it's the first video at the start. I only did two videos. Sorry, bro.
When's it been history?
Oh yeah, of course it would. I didn't even think about looking at history. Yeah, what an umpty. Right, let me just do this on the side. I was looking at my watch list because that's where I watched it from. But yeah, it'll be my history. Numpty. Come on. Stop playing up. Yeah, there we go. History. The computer's been a lot better today than it was the past. I got rid of a lot of stuff on it. So it did. It was a lot better. True Kings No More. Oh no, that's super sidewinder. Sorry. Giants of Malta. Evidence the ancient Bibles are hiding underground. The Y Files. 2.6 million.
Yeah, I've heard of that channel.
Views. The Y Files. That's the name of the guy. Do you want the link?
I've heard.
I've
heard it.
If you,
yeah, you can send me a link.
Typed it in the Y Files. He would come straight up. He's got so many. So yeah. All right, cool. I'll do it in there. This is for the video. It's the video itself. So if you want to just, come on, right, copy it. I'll put it in this private chat. Yeah. Oh, paste away. There you go, dude. All right. But yeah, it was a decent enough video, but I knew his conclusion would be that there's not really giants. There never really was. I knew it would be because he's on that side of the fence. Do you know what I mean? He did say it kind of rocked him for a bit, but yeah, he's more of a mainstream kind of guy. He's not into the truth thing. You know what I mean? It's just things he hears about, I suppose, and likes to cover them. I love his street videos. Oh, you mean Ray Comforts? Is that who you're on about, Barry? Yeah, he's pretty good, dude. He's pretty good. There's a few things I don't agree with on. Obviously, Globes for one, that's for sure. But yeah, he is pretty good. I like how he talks to people. And that. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's it for me today. It's been 3 hours, so let's it's lunchtime now here, so gotta go and chill for a bit. Bless you guys. Nice one for turning up. And as always, here the sun sets free. Free indeed. Ta-ra, guys. If it'll let me end the stream. Yeah.